Apparently, I thought everybody was gonna hurt.
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
Kill this mother.
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it? What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
You take into the ring a lot of rage. Does that work for you, or does it work against you at times?
You know, who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does it matter?
Well, for example, rage against Evander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off. I'm 36.
I don't know what check it. Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. Yeah. This ain't paste pecani sauce.
What's the difference?
Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
All right. Welcome back to a special midday edition of Straight Talk No Chase. I'm back here with the return of Kirk Keys. Let's go.
You have to excuse me. I'm taking out my hair real quick.
It's all good. And we got some guests coming on a little later in the show. My man is amped up and ready. I know he can't wait to get on here. So we're going to get this thing going real quick. But first off, Kirk, what you got going
on? Not too much, man. It's October. What's that? It's anti-bullying month. So
blood clot.
Doing a few things with the kids. We teaching them also, how to heat press and run an online store right now. So that's kind of what we've been doing with our programming. It's Halloween coming up. We got a few things, partnerships with XOA at the Extra Selfie exhibit. We had our first mentor night with them last month in September. New partnerships, man. I've been doing a lot of stuff. That's why I ain't been on the show. I've been making moves. Not saying that and like that, everybody be like, I'm so busy doing everything kind of thing. But nah, I just be when I'm trying to advance, I gotta focus. So I was just trying to focus real quick. And so we have new partnerships with Martha's Table that we've been setting up. We got partnerships with Extra Selfie exhibit, XOA store in Pentagon City. We've been setting up. We got a new partnership with the Dream Center over in Southeast. So we've just been expanding, working together. Unity, a lot of that stuff. Which my man Ye was just talking about that we're gonna get to a little bit later. That's all I got going on. What's up with you, my brother?
Shit, I'm chilling. Ain't same old thing. Ain't nothing new. Still out here talking shit. We got the
Tripping Ain't Easy intro just now. That was sweet. That was real cute. I don't know where you be coming with these videos though. That's
I was trying to play the damn Straight Talk No Chase. The Straight Talk No Chase intro, but the shit didn't load in my fucking shit here. So I just came straight into the fucking show, but I didn't even want to come in that early. Actually, hold on. Where the fuck is that shit at? Maybe I do got it. Oh, well, it's too late now. But anyways, here. I ain't got too much going on. I got the Tulum DMV takeover.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to that. What's that, April or March?
That's gonna be President's Day weekend. February the 7th.
February.
Yeah. That'll be my birthday weekend, February 17th through the 22nd. If you'd like to get tickets, you can go to http://thetulumtakeover.com, or you can go to tulumdmvtakeover.com. They get your tickets. We have a good old time. Other than that, I'm ready to get this show going, man. How about you?
I'm down. I'm ready.
All right. So if you haven't been hiding under a rock, try not to curse within the first 3 minutes. Somebody told me that if you don't curse within the first 3 minutes, YouTube don't flag you. Nah, you know, I've been getting flagged like shit lately. Damn, I just cursed.
Come on now.
It's all good though. But so yeah, if you haven't been hiding under a rock, Kanye West has been on fire for the past 2 weeks. I'd like to let everybody know I fully support Kanye West's message, and I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about it. How about you, Kirk?
I'm right along with you per usual. People already know me, so they know where I'm going with this. I've been a Ye fan. I'm not one of those cancel culture type people, so I'm gonna keep supporting him. And I mean, he hasn't done anything I feel like he should be canceled for. I continuously see the antics and continuously see the moves that he makes. And I get it. Sometimes you got to make noise in order to get the point across. And he continues to make the point and continues to get the point across. In my personal opinion, he continues to advance. And so as long as he continues to do that and continues to represent for black people the same way he said George Bush don't like black people, the same way he said Beyonce had the best video and the Grammys be slighting us. And then all of a sudden, years later, they got what's that, like Oscar so woke and all that, or Oscar so white or whatever it was, and people actually trying to step up and support, you know, black people getting more shine at award shows. So like he just be the first to do stuff, and then everybody follows. So I don't understand why we be getting mad at him and not seeing, you know, what's what. It's the same tactics every couple years or so.
That's a fact. I mean, and Kanye ain't no fool. I mean, Kanye definitely goes on a trolling worldwide tour, which I don't have any problem with because
a lot of times he trolls the people who need to be trolled.
I mean, niggas, man, you know, at this point, we're like a broke down car. But every car needs a fucking tune up. And I feel like every once in a while, Kanye West comes around, gives niggas the tune up. You know what I'm saying? Changes the spark plugs, get niggas riled up. And that's what we need.
Right, gets the conversations going, at least. At the very least, that's what I say too. He gets the conversations going so that people can start talking about stuff that they would never talk about on another day. So
facts. I mean, we're talking about George Floyd. We're talking about George Floyd 2 years later. Mm-hmm. Which you know. But anyway, we'll let's get into the first clip of the day. And this is we gotta get the backstory. So Kanye was just on the Drink Champ. Kanye just had the Drink Champs episode and came under a lot of controversy, even though the shit had 2 million views in less than 24 hours, which is like stupid. You know what I mean? 2 million views in less than 24 hours, but everybody's so upset with the interview. So recently he was on Drink Champs. They had a good time. They drank, they smoked. They let Kanye talk his shit. But then the next day, the backlash was so bad that Nore, quote unquote, Kanye's quote unquote brother, his friend that he loves, right, comes out the next day and basically backpedals through the whole thing. So let's get into Nore's apology. I don't think I want to. Let's do the Hot 97 one. I don't really think we need to get into the Breakfast Club one because he pretty much said the same fucking thing.
Oh, sure. I didn't even see the Breakfast Club one.
So let's get into the Hot 97.
Basically went on an apology tour. That's what that means.
Pretty much. And he deleted the video, which was stupid. Which is real stupid. Because one thing I'd like to say before we get into this video, how is it that ABC News can go out here and interview Jeffrey Dahmer, let Jeffrey Dahmer say whatever he wants to say. They don't get canceled. They don't say take down the interview, do this, do that. Nobody says that.
Killing black people.
Right.
Killing Netflix in general.
Right. Netflix comes out with a fucking whole series.
Who gets paid from that? Does his family get paid from that? Does he get paid from that? Who gets paid from that? Probably who?
Right.
Are we going to say that J word throughout this interview?
Code word.
Let's call him Lewis. The Lewis people get paid.
Exactly, but nobody's threatening to take that down. You know what I mean? And these victims' families have to live through that. They tried to humanize Jeffrey Dahmer in this series, but nobody wants that taken down, which is very interesting. So let's get into
people about to be Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that shit gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be ridiculous, bro.
All right, so let's get into this.
canceling his appearance on the shop, right?
Right. So it was a big it was a big deal because when I reported it, I know that Jeezy was part of that lineup, and
All right, let me see. Let me reload this.
It's like it's hearable for real, I believe.
At no point did you guys think like, hey, yo, you know what?
Let me go back. All right, let's start it over.
EFN had Kanye West on Drink Champs for the third time. And this, of course, is an interesting one because it's coming on the heels, Laura, of Spring Hill, LeBron James and Maverick Carter's company, canceling his appearance on the shop, right?
Right. So it was a big deal because when I reported it, I know that Jeezy was part of that lineup, and designer Salehi. And I heard it got really tense and really heated, so much that the shop decided not to air their episode because they didn't want to give Kanye West's hate speech a platform, according to their press release.
So that brings us to our friend Nore, who's with us right now. Nore and EFN decided to have Kanye back on Drink Champs. And I guess I'll start here, Nore. What was the logic for you guys in giving him the platform to come on and talk with you?
Well, the logic was the same way you guys are giving me the platform. I think you guys have love for me. You guys have respect for me.
There's that love word again. Come on, man. Stop this shit, man. Don't none of these motherfuckers love each other.
Guys think that I should have a say. There wouldn't be no Drink Champs if it wasn't for me coming to this very show and viewing my expressions. You know what I'm saying? I remember I came up with the idea to do Drink Champs after Prodigy wrote his book. And Prodigy wrote his book, and I had to have a rebuttal because obviously I was in the book. You know what I mean? And I would come up to this show, I would come up to the other show, and I started to realize that, you know what? I should have my own show. So this started from there. Now with Ye, I have a relationship with Ye. You know, when he was going through a lot of the things that he was going through, he would call me and he would actually listen to me and take my advice. So I felt I could control the situation. I felt that I could control the interview, and I've learned early on that I didn't. Like, you know, as a black man, I feel like I failed as a human.
Let's stop right there real quick. We have to for fair use purposes anyway. We can't just let the whole thing play. Right there, where he says he thought he could control the interview and he realized that he couldn't. I think that's a crock of BS off the break right there, because not only were you letting him talk, you was encouraging him to sip shots of Douce after Douce after Douce, and then you handed him a J. So, I mean,
there's a time, for one, Kanye said, like, oh, you think you're going to control this interview or whatever? Like, he said that, and that's when he might have realized that he wouldn't. But even outside of him realizing that he wouldn't, there were times, like you just said, where Kanye was talking and like kind of not really rambling, but you know how he does, going off on tangents. And he stopped and said, hold on, I realize I'm talking. Y'all ain't got no questions then. Do y'all want to ask something or what? And they were like, nah, I mean, keep doing your thing and let him keep going. So like, y'all wanted him to kind of do what he does because y'all know he has solid stuff to say at the end of the day. They were supporting it. All throughout that interview, they were talking about how they were going to win it. Not all throughout the interview, but as the interview went on and they noticed it was solid enough and they knew that they wanted an award because of his previous appearance on their show, they talked about how this one was going to win an Emmy. Like, you talking about winning awards off of shows when you an hour in off the conversation. You know what this conversation is doing and where it's going. You ain't stupid.
Facts. So, I mean, we got to debunk that off the break. I just think really, I think this whole conversation, we'll get into it.
I feel like I failed. But as a journalist, I succeeded because as a journalist, you're not really supposed to have an opinion. You're supposed to let people talk. And my biggest critique on Drink Champs is, Nore, you always cut people off. And this is the one time I didn't cut the people off. Didn't cut them off. And everyone's mad. Like, hell yeah. So I should just stick to what the script is and cut everyone off. But I sincerely apologize to anybody that was hurt by Kanye's words, by Kanye's actions, because I didn't really realize that sometimes I'm just so much into the interview, you're not even in the interview. You understand what I'm saying? And so for the first 5 minutes, Kanye had walked in and he said he had people filming. And he told to my producer, he said, if you tell my people to stop filming, that he would walk out. So So that the rhetoric of George Floyd, when you hear him speak about George Floyd, that's in the first 5 to 8 minutes of the actual interview. I actually check him, and I say, you shouldn't say that. I actually check him about the Jewish community. I actually check him about the black community, but you don't see that till 2 hours in the interview. So what you're seeing right now, what we're getting backlash for, is for the first 5 minutes of the interview. And
so why are you apologizing? What's the point of apologizing?
Yeah, I feel you. And in the first 5 minutes of the interview, I ain't hear nothing wrong. When you get up to where like the George Floyd piece is, I mean, I feel a little indifferent. Like that's questionable, but I don't have enough to say about that. But they're talking about the first 5 to 8 minutes, and even in the first 5 to 8 minutes, I think it was a lot of talk about the Lewis community, but not necessarily the George Floyd piece. And so I didn't hear anything wrong in the first like 10 minutes of that joint. Be real.
Facts.
And you guys understand that when you're trying to have a long interview or an in-depth interview,
you got to pace yourself.
You got to pace yourself. So, but if the people are mad at me, the people are saying that was irresponsible of Nore, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Y'all right. You know what I mean? Like I should have checked him right then and there. So
listen, I hear you, and because I love you, I went and kept watching.
Here's that I love you shit. Like these niggas are weird, man. These niggas are real weird. All these niggas love each other.
I was like, everyone's saying they didn't check them at all. Let me keep going. And I got to the parts where you guys did try to push back. I mean, listen, you guys went the homie approach of like, hey, but what about, which is what you should do because he's your homie. Like it makes sense. That was your route. Do you feel though? My only criticism would be this, Nore. There was one part where you trying to really push back at the end, and I was like, oh man, Nore's too drunk. He's too drunk.
I was too drunk. I was too like. By the way, we're called drink champs, guys. We're not political champs. You know what I'm saying? We're called drink champs. We're
Great point. Great point.
Here to get these people inebriated. We're here to have, because that's when you get these stories that you guys love so much, is when I get them drunk. So unfortunately, sometimes I get drunk with them. It's just he stood with that ideology. He stood with. And by the way, I love Kanye West. I really think that we shouldn't give up on Kanye West. I really think that we should. Yeah. I know this. I really think because right now, to me, I just got the phone.
And Kirk, if you need me to pause it, if you want to make a point or something, just let me know. I can do that.
And I say Talib.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
All I said was he not respecting his name. He said he wanted to be called Ye now. He said Kanye West, we shouldn't give up on him. Keep going.
Definitely.
I think you should reach out to him. I think he needs.
But in Nore's defense, though, it's kind of hard to keep remembering to say Ye. Like,
in everybody's defense.
You calling him Kanye West for 20 years. I mean, the niggas ain't just gonna start calling you by his new name all of a sudden. Give us at least 6 months.
The most depth conversation. I think he needs a Dave Chappelle conversation because he's not having these. So when he's having them, he's so much in dominance of this. And like I said, let me not railroad. I'm here to say I apologize to anybody who felt like I let them down, because I did feel like I did let them down to a certain extent, because like I said, I did check him later, but by the time I checked him, it was already kind of like too late. So I can't be mad at Baller Alert for posting the footage that I don't want them to post, because I'm not mad at them when they post the footage that I do want them to post. So yeah, I do feel let down. I do feel like I didn't do the right job, but this is a learning experience. I did not go to school for journalism, but
I got a quick question real quick, and this is besides the point. Why do niggas only get veneers on the top teeth? I don't get it.
I only got veneer money and I get compliments on my weird.
I don't get it. I mean, like, he got veneers on the top. What about the bottom, Nore? That shit look crazy, man. Anyway, let's go.
That's not an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a special ed student. It's not an excuse.
We need the rest of this.
I should have checked as soon as he said it.
Nigga say it's special. I do want to bring in, because like this black guy that came on, I want to hear this. I didn't really. Let's get to this guy.
So at no point when you guys saw this, you didn't think, it might be a bad idea.
I was very hurt by the awards. Yes, I won the award. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cass.
I'm sorry. I got a question, man. So
Jump in, Cass.
So at no point when you guys saw this, you didn't think, it might be a bad idea to let this out. That it might, it might bring us backwards for whatever progress has been made. Because in my case, after this, I spent this weekend talking with, a bunch of my friends that feel differently, that have a different opinion, that were making roads in one way, and now we're like, yo, but your man saying this, and I'm talking to Journal like, I'm gonna say like some of my white friends that lean a certain type of way, we still have.
Yo, look at the fear in his voice when he prefaced himself and said, "Some of my white friends." These niggas are all scaredy cats, man. It's actually pretty sickening to watch, man. To be honest with you, I'm gonna let this cat finish, and we're gonna turn this clip off. We're gonna bring Jamar in, and then we're gonna get to the real reason why we're here today is to actually go through this Kanye West video as much as we can before we have to go.
Have conversations like, yo, this, that, or the third. But now they're like, yo, man, but your man is saying this, and your man is saying that. But look, so now we're having these conversations where we're stepping backwards. At no point did you guys think like, hey, yo, you know what? It might be a bad idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I'm taking responsibility. I can sit here and say, we didn't know. Well, I did know. I did know to a certain extent. But what it was I didn't think he was going to spread this ideology. I didn't think he was going to go there. I thought that he was going to have a couple of drinks. He smoked blunts with us.
Nore, you just saw the nigga on Tucker Carlson saying the same thing. You just saw it. You didn't think he was
on the Jewish network. He went on the Jewish network and went on the Jewish people. And you thought he wasn't going to come do the same thing over here.
With blunts and cognac? You didn't think he was going to go there? Come on, bro.
Blood clot.
I thought it was going to be lighthearted. And when it
lighthearted.
It was only in the beginning. It was only in the beginning. It was only in the beginning, and he threatened my producer that if he couldn't film, he would walk out. So we was trying to, that's how our interviews go. Rosenberg been on this platform. We try to lighten you up, and then we get you.
That's smart though. If I'll give you, like, when I was under a lot of heat years ago, when I said some crazy shit on Facebook and I was all over the news, I did a few interviews. Matter of fact, the first interview I did when the people rolled up to my house and tried to question me about what I said, I told them, I said, I'll give you an interview, but I got to be allowed to record this myself just in case y'all don't play the whole thing. So I think Kanye was smart for that. They try to make him sound crazy, but that ain't crazy. He's smart.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, nah.
Drunk, and then we get you to turn to our side. And I know we tried to do that. We tried to do that. We did. But and I learned my lesson. Because at the end of the day, as a journalist, I did my job. I let a person talk. As a journalist, you're supposed to have no opinion, no options, none of that. But I'm black. I am George Floyd. I am.
God.
I am, you know what I'm saying? I am that. And I didn't know.
Let me stop right now. I'm going to tell y'all niggas right now. I'm not George Floyd. I ain't George Floyd. I don't do fentanyl. I don't have fucking 8 felonies. I never put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly and demanded money. I'm not George Floyd. So this nigga talking about I'm black, I'm George Floyd. I'm not George Floyd. I don't know about the rest of y'all niggas. I ain't George Floyd. But anyway, we're going to get this shit off the screen. We're going to bring Jamar in real quick. And we're going to get this show on the road. Yo. What's good? You got to unmute yourself.
What's up, bro? What's up, Kurt? What's up, Kurt?
Ain't too much, man. How you feeling?
Talking me out.
Good. Ready to jump in this. I'm chomping at the bit, man. I'm ready, man. What's up? Let's get this on the road, man. That shit.
All right. So real quick, what you think about what you just saw thus far?
I think Nore on some, like, he on some whole shit to me. Like, you can't first of all, in one moment he claimed I'm not a journalist, but then say I'm a journalist. I think I did a good job as a journalist. Right? It's like you can't claim shit and then back off of it, because that means you're not standing on nothing. With Ye, you was egging him more. You was in the video, in the joke. You know what he was on, and you ain't like how it came out after the backlash. If there wasn't no backlash, he would have never said nothing. So that, to me, he ain't standing on nothing. Like, and that's just my take on that. That shit, all he doing is.
I mean, he was tweeting crazy. Like, when the views was going up, this tweets of Nore saying, "Yo, we did 1 million off the Ye interview." He's bragging about it, and now all of a sudden he ashamed. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I don't. That nigga just trying to save face.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was him, I would have come out, yo, what's there to be ashamed of, man? You ain't. I don't know who the hell interviewed Jeffrey Dahmer back in the '90s, but he wasn't ashamed when he interviewed Jeffrey Dahmer. He got the hot story and he let that nigga talk. That's journalism.
See, for me, it ain't even about. I don't like that concept either, right? Just because another nigga do something stupid, that don't mean you get the pass to go do something stupid. Like at the end of the day, stand on what you believe in and stand on what stand on something. That's my only thing. If you're gonna say don't be like, oh, I'm a special ed guy, then in the same time be like, well, I think I did a good job as a journalist. It's like, nah, nigga.
I feel him because it's a duality and everything at the end of the day. So I disagree with what he's doing. I think he should stand on it. And here's why. The statement that Kanye made about when there's one person running towards traffic, then he looks crazy. But when there's 100 people going, it's a marathon. Then you use your platform to let Kanye speak. You don't disagree with what Kanye's saying because you were listening to it. You weren't necessarily sharing your opinion with it as well, but you were listening to it and you let it go on because you agree with it. And you expected it to win an Emmy because you agree with it. And you know the power that can come from that conversation that is had if it's actually had. And so he put all of that shit out. He was hyping all of that up front because he knew what he had. And until them people probably hit him and let him know with them threats about how they can take away his platform is when he came and decided he was going to apologize. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't think he cares about the court of public opinion for real, because if he cared about that, you wouldn't have Kanye on anyway after he just said what he said on Tucker Carlson. They took that off. And the LeBron joint, the shop, didn't air his episode. So you already knew what he was talking about. You already knew the risk it was running. Until you really had them peoples at your door, probably is when he really realized, all right, I should apologize, and that's when he backed off. So he's really just playing the game. But the reason why I'm against him is because he should be part of that 100 that's riding with Kanye. If you're going to get him the platform, be one of the 100 that's riding.
The funny thing is, Kanye brought that up during the interview. He said during the interview, Brown and them cut me off, yada yada yada. Nore knew. It's no way Nore didn't know that he was going to catch this heat after this.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Maverick didn't.
That's what I think. I think at the end of the day, being able to apologize really be giving niggas passes, right? At the end of the day, I think it was about his own self-furtherment or whatever, his own betterment. He knew what that shit was going to do when the views came. And at the end of the day, the backlash, I deal with that shit. That shit already ran up at this point. That's how I really feel about it. I don't think it's a thing of he agree with it or I don't think he even give a fuck about none of that. I think at the end of the day, he know Kanye West coming to this show, gonna run these views up, and whatever happened with this shit after, I could just apologize. And it'll be dead after that.
He should have apologized and kept it up. I mean, why stop your money? That video probably would have had 10 million views by the end of this week. So, But let's great take on everything, fellas. Let's get into the video real quick. If you watching the show, we gotta handle business real quick.
I know you're gonna look after family.
Y'all gotta look after family, man.
What family you talking about, Ice? Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right, we're not invisible, man. Hit the goddamn like button. Share the video while you're watching. That's the least you can do. Hit the like button. Share the video while you're watching. And all right, let's get it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
What we on today? Facebook, YouTube, only YouTube, both.
Facebook, YouTube, and I think we on Twitter. I think. All right, so let's go. Here is the since deleted Drink Champs episode. Go grab some popcorn. Go grab a drink. If you're at work, I don't know if you can do that, but we're gonna get into this this interview. We're all gonna give our opinions. We're gonna stop it periodically to go over certain points. We're gonna have some fun. So let's go.
Now, I want to start because the very famous interview was you and Sway, right? And then you saying that you wanted to be like Ralph or you wanted to be up there with that caliber. And now it's like you are Ralph. You are that caliber. And then, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, so that's where we get confused with.
Did Sway have the answers?
No, I think you already admitted Sway had the answers. Yeah. But I guess that's where we get confused with the Adidas part of it, is because, like, didn't like that's how you became a billionaire, right? Through the Yeezy. So like, what was the discrepancy with Adidas?
You know, I just didn't have the relationships with the factories at that time, and I was managing a lot of ideas. Like I was a new dad. I was newly married. I had a bunch of team, like a big team of designers with me, and we hadn't established who we were. We were still fighting to get our respect in fashion. So there's a lot of fights at the same time. So we had to go and basically like intern almost up under these companies.
Because you interned for Louis Vuitton at one time,
yeah,
right? Okay.
Louis Vuitton, Fendi, and we interned in a way at Adidas. I like the licensing deal was my intern to become, more in that Bernard Arnault, Bezos, Elon territory. And just understanding how to, how money works. Like this is first generation, like you can say, like look at like Jay with the Duce. This is first generation of wealth.
And learn those infrastructures, right?
Yeah, the infrastructure is how to do a factory. Even right now, like when I left Gap, I moved, we made this t-shirt, like all the tremendous stuff we're doing right now, which is a flip on Supreme, where the guy that used to work for me, Tremaine, is now at Supreme. And, we can go further into that a little bit later. But for the main point is, so I took it over to Dove Charney at LA Apparel, and he founded Los Angeles Apparel. So then we made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEF CON tweet, now he ain't releasing the tee because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making. Like, Jewish people have owned the black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt, or it's all of us being signed to a record label, or having a Jewish manager, or being signed to a Jewish basketball team, or doing a movie on a Jewish platform like Disney. And we understand it's like, I respect what the Jewish people have done and how they brought their people together. They came into money through the lawyers when after Wall Street, when all of the like the Catholics, they wouldn't divorce people.
Right.
So the Jewish lawyers came and they were willing to divorce people. That's when they first came into their money. So like, say with me and Jay, with our culture, with the darker Jews. First of all, because you got to.
It just happens when anybody starts talking deep.
There you go.
Yeah,
with the dark.
Kanye about to start cooking. He about to start cooking. This early in the interview, he about to start cooking, man.
Darker Jews, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, who we are, because we Jewish also. We from Africa also. We're the blood of Christ. So
you hear Nore in the background?
Black.
Right.
We are Jew, just like the Jewish people. And now we're coming into money. But the main thing is, I got to drink the Douce over the Hennessy as the first step to us coming together, like how the Jewish people came together. But we couldn't even talk about. I remember Ben Horowitz called me after 444 and said, I don't know about Jay giving up Jewish business secrets. And these secrets.
We was talking about building up the properties and stuff like that on 444.
These secrets they not finna be a secret no more. Like if somebody tells me something, it's like, yo, I want to tell you this, but it's a secret. I'm like, I'm not your personal hard drive.
All right, let's hold it right there. Kirk, what's your thoughts on that?
He going smack at the Jewish media. I mean, it's clear. And dang, I meant to say Lewis. But either way, shouldn't be nobody's secrets when it comes to this information and this truth that you're trying to get out as far as like us actually getting the next levels. Like we are able to obtain some money now. We're able to obtain some wealth now because, access at the end of the day, like levels are changing and freedom has been a while since slavery has no longer been a thing. Jim Crow has supposedly been passed and all of that good stuff. So now like there's new levels of racism, but what does it look like and how do you address it? How do you attack it so that we can continue to reach new levels and continue to reach new heights? And these are the levels of racism. When Black people get to a certain point, they start to lose their voice because you have to sell out to what their agenda is. When you're not selling out to what their agenda is, then they shut you out. And so he's basically saying, I'm not letting y'all shut me out. I'm going to continue to lead the culture, continue to influence the culture, and I'm going to continue to make waves so that as I grow, we grow. That's how I see it. And so when it comes to secrets and information and all of that, I don't believe in that.
I mean, that's a fact. I mean, he also said, like, no disrespect to them, like, this is how they do things, and we want to emulate that. What's wrong with recognizing the way one group was able to succeed in America and ultimately throughout a lot of the world as we know it,
after they were oppressed, for the record, like
right,
I mean, sticking together as well, and then doing all of this. So you want to mimic that?
It was a long 4 years of oppression too, by the way. But you know,
go ahead.
As a group that's been oppressed for far longer, I think there's a lot we can learn. Jamar, what you got on that? What you got on that?
I mean, I don't have no problem with it, right? But I just don't subscribe to the whining shit. Like, of course, dog, I run the room. I'm not gonna let you come in here and say whatever you want and do whatever you want. I run the fucking room. And if you don't like it, don't keep asking me to play with my ball. Like, go get your own fucking ball. Like, that's my only thing. I feel like he'd be whining to be in the rooms and he's doing shit that he know they ain't gonna like, and then he cries about it. Like, that's my only thing. Like, put the fucking shirt out yourself, yay. You say you a billionaire. Go get a fucking
this conversation ain't about the shirt.
Shirts printed and go about your business.
But you know, to be objective though, Jamar, you have a point. You can't keep whining about being in certain spaces. I mean, that's a valid point. However, I don't really think that that's where he was even going with it. I mean, even though
that's what I'm saying, that's not the point.
You kind of got to get in the room because, like, a lot of times I hear black people talk like, no disrespect to Dr. Umar Johnson or anybody like that, right? I hear all these black quote unquote scholars talk about doing it the black way, and there is no substantial black infrastructure that you could even go to petition to get anything on the level that Kanye's talking, right? And I think his main complaint, right, with that community is that you guys manipulate and control a certain sector of our society
because they control the narrative.
Right, to the point where he has to say stuff like this to wake people up. Because I think too many of us don't realize that we're controlled by outside influences. It's not even just that particular community. I mean, look at black women in their hair. Asian people control that, and their nails. To the point where black women who do the same things have to beg on social media for people to come support them. So it's really not even about that particular community. It's about really telling your own people, wake the fuck up, like they're taking everything from us.
Exactly. Every industry is already so like taken over, or you don't even envision what the new industries could be. So what he's saying is like how you have a new industry coming in with Tesla and Elon Musk. We can be the new industries, like let black people represent it because black people are the culture. And then as we represent it, we're putting money back into us so that we can continue to grow that and work that and make that something. And he's begging for it from those people to get into those lanes because black people are not going to support it otherwise. They only support the shit that people already say is lit. We only support foreign because they say foreign is foreign. You ain't supporting no Yeezy just like you wouldn't have supported Rockaware if he would have came and just put it under some regular old shit and done some regular shit. Nah, he's going in, learning what top-notch designers are doing, getting access to top-notch designers, top-notch merchandise, top-notch factories. Remember, he said he didn't have access to the factories. You got to get into those circles to even get access to that next level of reach to be able to do that.
I hear y'all, man, but I can't subscribe to it when the same man is saying I'm the richest black man in the world. I'm the
is he not? He's supposed to lie.
EQ. Hold on, wait. I'll let you talk. I'm the EQ. I set the tone. I do this. I do that. Okay, well, you go shut the fuck up and do. Like I can't subscribe to it. If you're a billionaire, bro, if you're a billionaire, okay, it doesn't take shit to get no fucking t-shirts done.
I hear you,
and
but
that's what's stressing us out. You care about the t-shirts. He's not talking about the t-shirts. Hold on real quick, Norman. Listen. I'm not discrediting that message, right?
I'm just saying, like, do away with that bullshit. Like, you can still say that message without whining, bro. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like, yes, I understand what y'all saying.
That because I said this one thing over here, they control our messaging so much that they're telling us all it was wrong for me to say that, and then saying they're cutting ties and not doing business. If we all continue to be silent and they want to cut ties and not do business every time we say something they don't like, even if it's the truth, then we're going down a path that's going to continue to fuck us up at the end of the day. They're controlling your narrative. They're controlling our narrative. They're controlling what can be said. They're controlling what can be produced. They're controlling everything. That's the point that he's making.
Norman, when
he's
your
just
kids
using
run in your house,
I'm not done talking. I'll let you talk.
Crazy.
So he's using that as an example of how they, if only all I'm trying to do is produce this thing right here, and that thing right there was supposed to be he don't even fuck with black people. It has nothing to do with whether he fucks with black people or not. This whole thing is just to show how y'all control every piece of movement that happens. He's trying to end the control of the movement.
And just to piggyback, hold up real quick, just to piggyback, and we got this comment here from Timothy War Dog Hill. It says, fact, if you're a billionaire, you should be able to get the resources together to get it done. But here's the bigger idea, right? You have Kanye West, one black billionaire, right? Against how many other billionaires?
Y'all are crazy, huh?
How many other billionaires that of a different ethnicity that are pushing a certain agenda? Like, yes, he's a billionaire, but he's still a peon when it comes
to the other billionaires who control the narrative.
Stop ruining your relationships with other billionaires. You opened up the interview
because those other billionaires run my whole community.
Come on, how many excuses do we have? Learn some tactics. Like, come on now. You talking about you want to be a leader, then show some damn.
These are the tactics.
You can't
the tactics are. Listen, Jamar. Listen.
7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Hold on, Norman. Hold on. Let me show you.
I just want to get one
point. Point out something. Here's a clear tactic right here. Make enough noise that they can't silence me because the Jewish media would silence me any other way. So what can I do? I can use my Twitter with my direct messages, the same thing Trump did to get through the Jewish media to get into the White House, because they ain't fuck with him either. Use my direct messaging to make a ruckus, because then people will pay attention, because negativity is polarizing. Everybody loves negativity in this community. So let me get something to get your attention, and then let me go and highlight what it is I'm trying to get you to be the attention of. I'm trying to wake you up and let you know this message over here that you wouldn't even listen to if I didn't have the attention of everybody, because they was mad at me right now. Because you're mad at me, you're going to hear what the fuck it is that I'm talking about. But black people, let's wake up and hear what it is that I'm telling you, because I'm saying the same shit that we all need that you never would have heard in this lifetime if I didn't step up and say it. You never would have heard this, and this is what needs to be said in order for us to break through this oppression that we're going through. Bro, it is, and you just don't realize it. Like, you're negating something that we all have said is true. Everything he said in his message, you said is true when we talk about it. You haven't said he said anything wrong. You said we already know. But here's the thing. You already know. Everybody doesn't already know. So he's saying it to waken some people up, to enlighten some people. And even if they don't get it, it's just to let people know that there are people at these ranks who are thinking like you, who are trying to break through these levels and break through these walls. The shit is necessary. So the same thing he also said in his message, even if it don't get through where he's doing it, it's sparking the minds of the people that come past him. The youth work and shit that I do because YouTube came out when we was in high school, and I could Google and YouTube all of these Tupac interviews, all of these Tupac songs, all of this shit that you didn't just have access to at your fingertips. And so when I did that, I researched, listened, heard all the shit he was like, I'm like, dang, we need something in our culture that's going to like impact and do this work that he's talking about. And so I do this stuff. So when people hear what the fuck they talking about, he said two things that was very impactful. One is going to spark our kids' minds, the younger people's minds. Is going to enlighten them and make them realize who we really are, where we supposed to really be, and how this oppression works for right in front of your eyes right now. And he said it's going to ask Jewish white kids, why is Jay mad at us? These shoes that we wearing, all of these stuff, why are they mad at us? I know I'm going too far, my bad, but it's like you talking about it's a mute message. It's not no good point. It is points being made. It's a reason why he's doing all of that.
I'm not
all
saying
of that is to get the attention.
So
look, saying that it's a mute message.
Someone just said, hell, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and Dre are currently doing it. Okay, I want to address that too. See, one reason, and this all goes back to some of the things Ye was saying. We are programmed in general as black people to only try to get money in three different ways. Three ways that are damn near impossible for the average person to get to, right? He said Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre. These are three Negroes that came up in the music industry, which is one of the most hardest industries to actually penetrate. We need people in all sectors of industry doing those same things. So when you have a culture of people, right, whose programming all across the board tells you to only go three ways: sports, entertainment, or some type of quick way to grab money all at once, instead of a culture of people who go the back route and do the behind the scenes route and do the things that actually build up a community and a society. When you have a constant message of you need to do these things that these three famous motherfuckers did, that's the problem, because everybody's chasing the same 5 spots. And we're going to continue to lose if we don't see it differently. And why don't we see it differently? Because we're getting a narrative and a message from a group of people. And I'm not even saying they're wrong for it, because if I was them, I would do the same thing to another sucker. I would do the same thing to another sucker. Kanye West is just saying, wake up, you're a sucker. You're a sucker.
That's all. He's like, and y'all not about to keep suckering me. So let me show you what it looks like to not be a sucker.
So what's the plan, right? That's my thing. That's what I want to see. Something.
The plan is to have
because hold on, wait. You keep speaking for Kanye. First of all, talking all these future plans, like it's like you got him all figured out.
He said it in the interview. He said it in the interview.
Hold on, can I finish? Right. So at the end of the day, every time somebody tries to tap into him and stop the storytelling and stuff and actually ask about plans, he gives some bullshit ass story, or some bullshit ass when God tells me to. Like, nobody want to hear that, bro. Somebody want to hear some actual plan. Somebody want to hear some actual information when it comes to how to solve the problem, not identify it. Like, the identifying of the problem is mute to me, to a nigga. I want to hear something about some doers, somebody who actually put shit in place to accomplish goals against the problems.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Jamar. But I would say this: the first step to realizing you're a drug addict is admitting it. Yeah, off the break. That's the first step. I mean, the first step is admitting it, and a lot of black folks don't want to admit.
As a billionaire, like he say he is, and his self saying he said he's going to bring the people to freedom and all of this shit. Like, man, look, we need some action from you, buddy.
I think he has action. I mean, you this guy 8 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago, was $53 million in debt. And rose to being a billionaire. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of all of that. I'm just giving you.
I can't even.
I'm just giving you the surface. I'm just giving you the surface level. The surface level, he was $53 million in debt, and now
then he go get with the white girl, and now he's the man that we going. All right.
I mean, of course, I don't got no problem with him.
He was in debt with the white girl. He was in debt with the white girl. He didn't get with her and then get out of debt. He was in debt with her. He was in debt. He got a bar with him.
Kim definitely got.
I promise you, I guarantee you, 100%. When he was in debt, he was married to Kim Kardashian. This wasn't no post page. The shit on St. Pablo, he had a whole bar. My wife said, "I won't. I can't say no to nobody." And at this rate, we gonna both die broke. Some, knowing I'm in debt, and what my wife say, I still won't say no. That's a bar about him while he's with Kim K and he was in debt. This shit was well after they was married. They was married for like 3-4 years when he was in debt. Number one. Number two, the shit about him being in debt was around that same time frame with the whole Sway interview and all of that shit. And he was talking about how he didn't have access to these factories and all these things, that these deals with Adidas and all of that got him, and that's why he's able to now, with the 100% ownership of Adidas, 95 himself, 5% to his wife, change all of that and have the billions. The billions isn't even necessarily just, bro, you keep cutting me off. I let you talk. You acting like the shit was fake. I'll tell you the things that I have researched and that I can tell you, whether you believe it or not, because you just said he wasn't even married. And so that's what I'm saying. You be speaking from bullshit. You don't actually know. So that's neither here nor there, because I wasn't even going to honor the money thing, because that's irrelevant to the conversation. But when you said he was married, when he got with the white girl and got out of debt, I'm just letting you know that these things weren't at the same time. They were together. He was in debt while he was with her. So it's clear that you didn't know. That's
All right, let's.
At the end of the day,
I
it don't
honestly didn't
matter,
even want to
right?
address that.
At the
I
end of
wanted
the
to go
day,
back.
when you in debt as a
Go ahead, you can
business, like I ain't really trying to hear that shit. Yeah, Donald Trump could say I'm in debt and all that. Motherfucker, at the end of the day, these are companies. These are not him. This is not him in debt.
And
This is companies that
why
he's
I
gonna
didn't want
fucking
to
file
address it.
bankruptcy for or work a deal out of. So I don't want to hear that. It's not like a life or death thing. Like
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't want to hear that
That's
shit.
a great point.
cap.
That's a great point. You're absolutely right. So my point that I wanted to make, because I didn't even want to address the money piece, was the whole thing is the relationships. He didn't have the relationships. Whether he had the money before, whether he had the money later, he didn't have the relationships. He ended up getting the relationships, so that money that he had before turned into a whole lot more money now. With that money that he has now, you keep talking about he's not doing the work. Well, the things that are needed and necessary to break through is also your own land. It's also to be able to develop the land. He bought a whole hell of a lot, hundreds of acres of millions of acres, I believe, out in Wyoming with that money that you're talking about. So you're being able to put in different resources.
I mean, so it is.
Whether that's true or fake, it don't matter. Like that's the thing. Y'all didn't want to talk about the money, right? Now we want to go back to the money because he said something funny.
I mean,
Get the fuck out of here. Let's talk facts. So he bought a whole bunch of land that he can also put new water reservoirs on, that he can also build different cities and different resources and all of that type shit on, out away from where everything is, where the air is still fresh, pure, all that type shit, random ass shit. So while you're saying he's not doing anything, he's setting up the same thing that the Nation of Islam is also doing, because we all need to do for self. That's what we learned when the pandemic happened, and they took all your control of the jobs that you worked, of everything that you did, your livelihood, stepping outside even. They said we need to create for ourselves. We need to create communities for ourselves. We need to create neighborhoods for ourselves. We need to create design good well-being for ourselves in general. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's trying to do out in Wyoming. That's what the Nation of Islam is doing with their Hereafter farm that they creating with a whole bunch of acres of land that they got somewhere. I don't even know where that joint is at. But like a lot of black people are doing things and moving. And because you don't see it, you're acting like it's not happening. But it's because the Jewish media isn't telling you, which is also his point. So yes, you have said that to me. The thing is, we had these conversations for the last week, bro.
Let's do this. Let's continue.
I'm black niggas doing shit. What are you talking about?
Let's continue.
No, and now you're talking about, bro, this is the point. We're not even talking about you talking about you're one of the black niggas doing shit. That's not what I just said. What I just said was Kanye West is doing these things, and in previous conversations that we've had, you said he's not doing anything, and the last thing you just said was you need to see some action from him. These are things you just said. So I just gave you the action that he's taking.
So look, on that note, let's continue the video.
Like, if you want to be a secret, don't tell me. I'm not here to keep nobody's secrets, because it's only the truth that's going to set us free. And what they do is, the Jewish community, especially in the music industry, they'll take, in the entertainment period, they'll take one of us, the brightest of us, right, that can really feed a whole village, and they'll take us and milk us till we die, and then Stevie Wonder's son got to get a job, right? But Cameron Azoff got a job at Apple. He's already set up because of the way Azoff is connected, and we have to make our own connections. That's what I saw. What I loved about it, I love Dove just as a human being.
And this is the guy from Adidas?
Dove is from American Apparel.
Okay.
But I'm talking about put out my White Lives Matter tee. The White Lives Matter tee don't say nothing. It don't say DEF CON or nothing on it, right? I'm like, put it out. And he's telling me, like, yo, I want you to visit the Holocaust Museum. And I was like, yo, I want you to visit Planned Parenthood. That's our Holocaust Museum. I'm like, yo, I put my life on this at this point.
All right, let's stop there. I mean, first off, the comment about Stevie Wonder's son needing the job, he's not actually saying Stevie Wonder's son needs the job, even though I'm not sure, does he need the job? But the point is, resources are being, I guess, extracted and manipulated out of black folks. And it's our fault because we signed the contracts. But I think the point he's trying to
leveraging their money. We're leveraging their money. Who's not going to buy? Who's not going to leverage their? Who's not going to look for interest? Who's going to get? We leveraging their money. People be talking shit like putting up their own money.
I'm talking about like 360 record deals. I mean, what? Listen,
you leveraging somebody else's money.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Money on you. You ain't got shit. You got an idea. Somebody come fund your idea, but yet you want all the profits. Like, no, if you want to leverage somebody else's money, then you got to take the deal. Period.
So here's what I'm saying to you. I agree with you there. That is a 100% fact. I don't feel sorry for anybody who signs. I don't feel sorry for anybody who signs a dumbass contract. But I think the lesson to be learned here is let's take a look at what we're actually doing and understand that these people operate with the sole interest of their community and themselves. So when you go into these offices and you're doing deals with certain groups, understand they're nice to you. They say Black Lives Matter. They do all this shit, but ultimately they're there to extract resources.
And I think he's doing the same thing.
Put them into your community.
I think he's all this shit for his own self. What's the name? And he claims that it's for everybody.
I would agree with you that he's doing the same thing. I think the difference is he's doing it to reverse it so that it comes back to us. That's what he said all through this.
It ain't us.
It's the Jewish people. The Jewish people take their money and their wealth that they've been in for now, however long, and they take our talents, our entertainment, our ability, our culture, and they give us deals. They use lawyers to sign us. They use all of their money and influence to take from us and then give back to us with now money. The people who are in these positions typically do not use their money well. And so that's why the next person in their family will end up needing a job. That's why 50 Cent's son is like, he ain't giving me enough money, so on and so forth, all these excuses. However, somebody who actually maneuvers this shit well, like a Kanye West, who is doing this to extract their resources back to him so that he can then put into more resources in our own community, I would think and believe, and at the same time continue to advance his mission the same way Jewish people continue to advance their own mission as they put on for their community.
Thank you,
it's not to say he's trying to only do it and then get himself up and not get nobody else up. I think it is going to uplift him as well. Yeah, but it's going to do it for others too, so that we.
So why he do the same thing? Where's good music? Where's good music? Where all of those artists from good music?
Bro, y'all are saying stuff about someone who is the same person, but is learning new things. Y'all think the 45-year-old Kanye is going to make the same moves as the 30-year-old Kanye. The 30-year-old Kanye did not have 15 more years of information. So he did do that. And he probably did fuck up, and it probably is set up in ways that he would wish it was set up better. There is new levels and new enlightenment and new thoughts and ideas that they're all reaching. It's just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z 20 years ago is not the same Jay-Z of now. So when he makes 444 and says some of the things he say, you can't say, well, reasonable doubt Jay-Z said, or the person who made
you can go
such
back
and such
and
when
people out of their deals and shit. Like you can go back and fix
do these
your wrongs.
I'm pretty sure.
Like so, like that's what I'm saying. You can't. Where is the accountability for the fuck?
Here's the thing about
we
that.
Can't
that
just
you say you can let these people do X, Y, and Z.
You talk. So you can't just sweep fuck ups under the rug and then want me to trust your leadership moving forward as a leader. Like, okay, how I know you ain't fucking up now? Because you ain't never even take accountability for your old fuck ups.
Well, he went from negative 53 billion to allegedly 3.2 billion. I mean, that's kind of class. That's cleaning up a fuck up. That's definitely cleaning up a fuck up.
That's in his pocket. If I'm trusting you as a leader, that's your self shit. That ain't talk about for everybody else. Because everybody else falling out with you.
So let me ask you this: what does Pusha T said negatively about Kanye West and the dealings that he's done with Kanye West under good music?
That's a good point. I don't really know. That's a great point.
I mean, like you just said, you're leveraging someone else's money to better yourself. Now, I'd be a liar if I told you the ins and outs of anybody's contract at Good Music. I don't know. The only person that I recollect had an issue with Kanye West was Big Sean. And I don't know the ins and outs. But one thing I do know is that Kanye West was allegedly negative $53 million. Now he's allegedly up 3.2 billion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he took his creative skills and he took whatever, EQ, whatever he said he had, and he turned that into something much greater than what he used to be. He doesn't even have to do music anymore.
Yeah, I think he already had the influence, right? When you got influence, you can have a volatile life like that.
That's
like you already got influence. So I don't want to hear it. Like, let's not talk about this like the motherfucker was a nobody that did it already, that did this, right? Like he already had influence. He hit the right lick or get in the right position. Like anything can happen because he has the influence. And I'm not taking that away from him to saying that he's not doing good business. I'm proud of that man. You know what I'm saying? But my whole point with him is let's limit the bullshit so that people can focus on your message. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead.
What you know what? I'm not gonna ask you that. We gotta get through the video because it's a long video. That question I was about to ask you, we could go for another hour off that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because they've been fucking with me too long.
Nigga, you about to go through
They put the crazy narrative out there. My Jewish trainer, Harley Pasternak, who's Lizzo's trainer, put it out when I went to the hospital, put it in the press. I got a bunch of friends that went to the hospital. It didn't go to the press. They did that just like they did in the documentary on the 3rd episode to say, we love Ye like the rest of y'all. We know he a genius like the rest of y'all, but sometimes you got to turn the camera off on him. So they'll go and get a dude that's supposed to be my friend that's been taping me the whole time and buy this nigga out for $30 million.
I thought you co-signed that.
I ain't co-signing, but you get used to that. Paparazzi taking a picture of you, you ain't getting no money off it. Right. You just get used to getting screwed by the Jewish media. And I'm saying, y'all done poked the bear too fucking long. When I wore the White Lives Matter tee, I had 4 SoFi Stadium shows. They canceled my shows. I said it's up. And let me tell you one thing. It's like if a black man is caught with some car or something, everybody in the car gonna go to jail with him, right? But if a black man can play basketball or rap, only he gets the record deal. So meaning like if one black man does something bad, all the other blacks get caught with him. If one black man does something good, nobody else gets nothing with him. It's a reverse for the Jewish people, right? If a Jewish person could repeatedly fucks me on a deal, it's just them. It's just the businessman. It's not the people. It's not nobody else. But if a Jewish person does good, all of their people eat with them. That's one of the flips. I gotta tell you something. Where is a black guy that has a Jewish person signed to him? Point it out. Tell me that. Where is a black person that's signed to a Jewish person? All of them. Basically 90% of them. So what I'm saying is, y'all done poked the bear too many times. Y'all should have learned with Drake. Y'all should have learned with Puff. Y'all should have learned with Hove. Y'all dealing with a different kind of animal here. You know, everybody wants to say I'm 730. Well, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I told y'all I was the leader. I told y'all I'm gonna free my people in the name of God, and I will put my life at risk, because if I wasn't in a glass prison, just like Larry Hoover's in a real prison, then I would have had to say so when my kids go to school. I go into my kids' school, I see Hanukkah books, then I see Kwanzaa. Christmas is Christ's Mass. Where's Jesus in the school where all the celebrities are paying for their kids to go?
Cell? I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Hey, I'm talking about.
Right.
But ain't nobody listening to me type shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm in like a glass box of like celebrity with a bunch of handlers around me and shit, and people colluding behind my back and being like, is he ramped up? What we gonna say now? What I told y'all, because I talked to Larry Jackson last night and he was like, yo.
From iTunes.
Yeah, but now he's got his own deal. He started telling me how Clive Davis changed his life. And I talked to him for 6 minutes. He said, well, usually we talk back and forth. I said, Larry, this is my life, though. I'm letting you know so you can let everybody know what it is. What it is at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of y'all no more. And we don't have to be afraid. I understand that they got us so paid off every which way, they cutting down. And my whole point just off the tweet, the fact that, what does that even mean, what I said? And the fact that I got taken off proves my point. Jamie Lee Curtis went on TV and said, I hope they take his children away from him. Wow. I hope they take his children away from him. Everybody they put out, Triple X, Tupac, that's what Larry was saying. My response was, well, I guess I'm next then. Because it's no backing down at this point. I talked to Cube because Cube been labeled an anti-Semite. First of all, we are Semite. We Jew. So I can't be anti-Semite. First of all, I need my 4 stadiums back. The 78 media outlets that called me abuser when I was trying to get that heroin addict away from my kids that was tattooing my kids' names on them, Skeet, Pete.
Shout out to Skeet.
Davidson, they popping up. You know what I'm saying? It's like they Trevor Noah, not even from America. Right. He just looked black. Right. Gonna say, yo, Kim, it's gonna get dangerous. So they putting all that he crazy. He's so OJ. Right. Nore just want the family back together. Right. I just want the family back together. Right. Kim is a Christian. On TMZ, I just saw yesterday, they said Pete Davidson and Kim have sex by the fireplace to honor their grandmother. It's Jewish Zionists that's about that life, that's telling this Christian woman that has 4 black children to put that out as a message in the media. So when I drive by and I see the Hulu ads and I say the JP Chase Morgan ads, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the devil is a defeated foe. You can't poison me. And by the way, y'all done already fuck with me so much. Y'all already black mirrored me. You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address of my child, none of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
Gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address. Right. But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed.
God damn. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
Right.
I'm Michael now. Right, Every Michael you can think of, but mostly Godfather Michael now. No. I'm Michael now. I'm Michael now.
Real quick, look at Nore, dog. Nore act like he wasn't egging this shit on. Now he apologizing?
Yeah, Nore clown for this.
Come on, bro. You sitting up here drinking, smoking with this nigga, egging him on. Yeah. All that, man. But shout out to Kanye, though. Kanye's on fire. I'm sorry. The nigga's on fire. Y'all niggas go at it. What y'all think?
That's what I'm saying. I don't support everything this nigga do and say. But it's like, be acting like I can't decipher through bullshit. Like, I'm not about to sit there.
But that's my point, Kurt. All this is to be ignored by your leader. All that's to be ignored.
Nah, and you can ignore that and you can keep it moving. Like, I don't gotta show attention.
Nah, but
to
that's what I'm
Still,
saying.
the shit that he's saying is relevant.
If you are, so you can go talk to your kids like this, and you still want them to respect you as a leader.
Let me tell you what I can do. I can tell you that.
No. Can you answer my question?
No. I'm going to answer your question directly. I can tell, because this nigga isn't a kid, so I don't need to go talk to no kid and expect them to talk to me in a certain way.
You just talked about him inspiring the kids. Go ahead. Okay, yes. Tupac
talked to niggas crazy. He still was inspirational. So back to what I was saying. I can say that Donald Trump has 50 clips of this that I'm not going to fucking like. I can say Joe Biden has 50 clips of this that I'm not going to fucking like. So what I'm saying is, when we're talking about adult human beings that we're asking to go into a position, the people who have been in the position for the last 10, 12 years, I honestly don't fuck with or give anything about. Not 10, 12, because that goes in Obama era and all of that. And I actually like that guy, even though we're not opposed to according to Trip. But
I can't stand him. Go ahead.
The last 8 years, we've had a bunch of bullshit in. And the people that's about to come around in this next cycle is probably some more bunch of bullshit. So what I'm saying is, for the position that we're talking about, I'm not talking about anything else. I can fuck with this, because all the shit that he's talking about relevant to the position that we talking about, I fuck with. Like, you talking about he didn't give an example for how we end wars. There isn't a time where we are in any of them political debates and all that other shit where they ask how you about to stop this war, and they go and tell you how you about to stop a war. They say, I've heard things like, well, I can't tell you that. When I have my position and we in the war room together, we'll have different ideas and things like this that we're going to come up with when I have my staff and the people that I want to establish around me who will be in the right positions to handle this, or they'll name drop somebody who they think might be a good person for secretary or whatever. Like once they're about to get that position, like between the actual election and being appointed in January, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But they never actually tell you how they're going to end a war in the first place. So what you're looking for is something that politicians have so professionally learned how to talk around that you think you're getting an answer when you're not. So that's what I'm saying. How do you think that this nigga in 2 years off of a position that he ain't even necessarily ran for yet going to say, I'm going to be able to end this war that might not even be still happening yet? And that's what we're saying. There is no answer. Nobody that you ask that question to right now is going to have an answer. And so you're looking for something that isn't real. But nobody is even going to ask somebody that question right now in the first place for them to have to look crazy and you to even be able to say, he ain't come up with no answer. That's not real. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all putting stuff on people.
This nigga can't
that
control
aren't
his
real
household. You want him to
expectations,
control the world.
You say he can't control what?
He can't control his household. You
Bill
want him to
Clinton.
control the
Bill
world.
Clinton was the president, and he had a whole affair.
Nah, he
and was about
controlled
to
his
get
household
impeached.
more. They still together.
No, that's not controlling your household. If that's what you think.
Oh, I mean, he
you
kept
got
his family
you
together.
like what, bro?
He kept his family together.
Because they stay
Are
together.
they not
He
together?
control his household. Man, nigga, shut
Are they
up.
not together? Are they
That
not
sounds
together?
stupid. Where's the
Are they
relevance?
not
Is what I'm
together?
saying. A whole president had a whole affair while they was in
I'm
office.
just
What's the
saying.
relevance?
This man said
Tell
somebody
me
else
something
took his
relevant.
kids from
Y'all
him.
be arguing a bunch
Somebody
of dumb
else
shit and
destroyed
acting
his
like
life.
this is
No,
a real
nigga.
point.
Whoa. Hold on. As a person who's been through it, people, listen, when I was going through a divorce, motherfuckers took my kids based on false pretenses. I didn't see my daughter for months at a time because I'm not going to get into my personal shit, but I was getting accused of things that I didn't do. And I didn't get to see my child. I'm not saying that it happened to him, but people can take your kids from you all different type of ways. So I kind of sympathize with him on that. Now that's his personal business that you can tell is pouring out of him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's more shit that I feel like we shouldn't even necessarily weigh in. He's in an interview that he's allowed to talk about his own personal life, and people are asking questions. He's still a man. He can talk about his
And I agree with him about Meek Mill. So I can't stand Meek Mill. But let's continue.
I'm the richest.
Right. They say you're the richest black man in American history.
In history.
In American
history.
Can we make some noise for that, goddammit?
Peep Nore hyping him up, egging him on. But then he want to apologize the next day.
So I want y'all to run up on me. No. I want y'all to come kill me.
Yo, look how they hype this. They hyping this nigga up.
What is
on 1,000 right now.
What is this?
I want you to smack me. No. I want you to do all the shit you rap about.
No.
Hold on. All the shit you rap about. I want you to come do it now. Come down to this joint right now. Please. Or otherwise, shut the fuck up unless you was there when the Kardashians kidnapped my kids. You understand? Now go and get y'all some motherfucking business while we go and get free. Because I'm Moses out here. You know what I'm saying? I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that fucked me up when I was watching the documentary, and it said, they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. Now, this particular clip has been the subject of, well, I'll say the surfaced subject of all the backlash he's gotten from the interview. I don't even think this is the main subject, but this is what they're using to try to make this interview illegitimate. The George Floyd comments. Jamar, I want to start with you. What do you think?
The video I looked like the nigga was on his neck and killed him.
Okay. I mean, are you familiar with any of the particulars of the case?
Nah.
Have you seen the full body cam footage?
Nah.
Okay, Kirk, how about you?
Yeah, I seen all that shit, and I'm hip to the conspiracy theory that existed back in December 2020. That's why it's so funny to me that he said it the way he said it. He said, I seen the video and it looked like nigga had his foot in that. Because that's real. That's what I seen too. And I've also seen that whole conspiracy theory shit. I saw it way back when I still wasn't even like, I mean, I don't know what to think even now, but I want to see that Candace Owens documentary to see like,
oh, it's good. It's good.
It's real. All of that stuff. I know you've seen it. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I seen probably what was in that Candace Owens documentary to a certain extent, where they have the like details of the car pulling up and the angles and why would people be out there just sitting recording and allowing this and not doing shit about it and so on and so forth. How they from like the same, how they both Freemasons and they from the same.
I don't know if you can substantiate them both being Freemasons.
That's what I'm saying. I can't. None of those things I can prove. So that's why I'm not even speaking on that type shit. I'm letting that shit be. I don't know.
So this is what we're gonna do.
I say with everything, there's two narratives being ran across this country right now that everybody don't know about because everybody don't tap into it because everybody don't care. But if you look into the two narratives that are running right now, because with everything there's a duality, there's to everything, there's as above, so is below. And I mean, it's two-party system, all of that type shit. You don't be so hell-bent on one and think that you support one and you know one and how they move and what they think and all of that, that you don't know what the other one is doing or thinking or all of that type shit. Because it's, I mean, all of that shit is real. And so you might want to learn both and just take it all in and decide who's telling the truth and which time and all of that. Because I'll be honest with you, you never know what's real. To know, the man, Erykah Badu said, the man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. And that point is, they're going to put something in front of you, you can perceive it, but unless you actually witnessing all of this shit with your own eyes, you don't know what the fuck you just saw. And so, yeah.
So this is what I want to do.
You might want to figure them out.
I want to put this in perspective so we can have a proper, objective conversation on this. This is one of the main takeaways from the interview that everyone's talking about. Kanye West disrespected George Floyd, which me personally, I don't think he did. Now,
I don't think he did because he only put out a narrative out there that people don't know exists. There's a whole nother side. That's what I'm telling you. And the other thing about those two narratives is neither one of them are always telling the truth. Like, it's not like there's one narrative that's a truth, there's one narrative that's a lie. People are saying what they're saying to get to the advantage of whatever it is, point that they're trying to put across. So take it all in. Don't ever side with neither one of them fully and just listen so you know what the fuck is going on out there. So I don't think he disrespected him. He said some shit that's known amongst a lot of people.
So what I want to do is I want to go through the official notes that the medical examiner for, I can't pronounce the county, I'll pronounce it whenever we pull up the file. We'll go through the official notes of the medical examiner for the county who did the medical examination of George Floyd, and then we'll play some of the official body cam footage so you can see exactly what went on, and then we'll weigh in on it after that. So I think first we're gonna do, let me see if I can pull up this file real quick.
That boy can't load it, did he?
Come on, man. You know,
that boy getting good, man.
All right, so can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through to the memo, a memo from the District Attorney Office of Hennepin County Attorney's Office, Adult Prosecution Division, memorandum this is for the file, from Patrick Lofton about the George Floyd case. This is dated May 26, 2020. All right, on May 27th, 2020, Patrick Lofton, Amy Sweezy, Mike Freeman, and Andrew Lefevre met with Hennepin County Medical Examiner Dr. Andrew Baker in person in a socially distant room. Remember, it was COVID, so they had to say that. Dr. Baker provided the same autopsy presentation from May 26 Microsoft Teams meeting, as well as the following additional information. Some of the scars on Mr. Floyd's hands were pre-existing and likely from an incident in which he broke some glass and was admitted to the hospital approximately a month prior. AB, which is short for Andrew Baker, the doctor, recalled that there were indications in Mr. Floyd's medical records that he had been admitted to methamphetamine detox. AB reiterated that his findings are preliminary and that he has not issued a final report. He opinioned the ultimate cause of death may prove to be a multifactorial diagnosis. Based on what AB knows so far, the three factors in that diagnosis could be 1, coronary artery disease, 2, any stimulants potentially in Mr. Floyd's system causing his heart to work harder, and 3, the exertion caused by Mr. Floyd's encounter with the police officers. This would depend on the quality and intensity of the encounter. In AB's experience, overexertion of the heart is one of the reasons police departments avoid using this type of hold at issue. AB still had not seen any videos. All right, so they're basically saying this
wasn't in perfect health.
Well, no, he didn't want to give a total opinion on the autopsy until he got the results from the toxicology report. So this next memo from June 1st tells about the toxicology report. So here you go. June 1st, 2020. On May 31st, 2020 at 7:30 p.m., Assistant Hennepin County Attorney Patrick Lofton and I met with Dr. Andrew Baker, AB, on Microsoft Teams. All three of us were in different locations. Dr. Baker said he had recently received the final toxicology reports from Mr. George Floyd's samples, which were analyzed by NMS Labs. AB shared his screen and showed us the results. He said that where it says hospital blood, those samples are from Mr. Floyd's hospital admission and were not acquired at autopsy, meaning when he was taken to the hospital after the incident, they drew his blood. So basically he's saying the blood drawn from the autopsy doesn't really count because the autopsy is done days later and things get a chance to get out of your system. So they went by the blood at the time when he went to the hospital. So AB said that these samples are better for determining actual blood toxicity than samples taken at autopsy. Samples taken at autopsy may have undergone post-mortem distribution. AB walked us down the list of substances for which NMS labs tested. Those values he highlighted were for A and P, I don't know what that is, precursors of methamphetamine or fentanyl present in Mr. Floyd's blood. Okay, that's what that means. Methamphetamine, 19 in something per milliliter, which he described as very near the low end and a stimulant hard on the heart. Fentanyl, 11. He said, that's pretty high. This level of fentanyl can cause pulmonary edema, which means fluid in the lungs. Floyd's lungs were 2 to 3 times their normal weight autopsy, meaning he had fluid in his lungs. That is a fatal level of fentanyl under normal circumstances. Should I repeat that? That is a fatal level of fentanyl under, basically, George Floyd was high as fuck on fentanyl at the time he was arrested. He had taken a fatal dose of fentanyl at the time he was arrested. Now let's go norfentanyl, 5.6, a metabolite of fentanyl. Mr. Floyd's urine was tested for 4 things and are redundant given the blood analysis. AB said, the only thing that matters is what's in his blood. Okay, so here's the final note. AB said that if Mr. Floyd had been found dead in his home or anywhere else and there were no other contributing factors, he would conclude that this was an overdose.
I'm trying to figure out what does this mean, though.
I just read all that. You don't understand what it means?
I mean, no, I get the mean. The nigga was high.
I mean, they overdosed and they still choked him out for 8 minutes.
Yeah, but he still got choked out. It don't matter. Like, you got choked out.
Okay. So, no. Now, I'm going to get to that. Because now, while I'm not one of the people that think George Floyd deserved to die. No, I don't think he deserved to die. No. But I also think that this was, I don't think, hold on. No, he didn't have a heart condition.
No, I'm just saying, if you did.
What this is explaining to you, the fluid in the lungs, the drugs he took caused the fluid in the lungs.
To die that day.
So overexertion can also cause someone to have a heart attack and die. So what I want to show you, just to be fair to Kanye and the point that he was trying to make, let's go to
So hold on.
Actual body cam footage.
To be clear though, he said they hit him with the fentanyl.
No, Kanye West is tripping. He took the fentanyl himself. It's a drug problem. He was in the car with a drug dealer who sold him the drugs.
No, but I'm saying Kanye try to make it seem like. Never mind. Go ahead. Just go.
Yeah.
He made it seem like they hit him with the fentanyl, not that he was a drug addict. Like they choked him out, but they also like fed him some fentanyl.
They tried to make it seem like it was somebody else, not him. Like it wasn't self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think Kanye was probably trying to do to save face. But let's go to the actual body cam footage. Now let's keep in mind, my man was high on fentanyl at the time of this body cam footage. All right, I'm gonna let this play. I gotta pee, so y'all just watch. I'll be right back.
That fentanyl out, boy.
Gentlemen. Oh, sorry. Driver in there?
Yes.
Which one? The blue one with the dick.
Which one? Yep. Just head back in.
All right.
They're moving around a lot. Can see your hands.
Hey, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand. Both hands. Put your fucking hands up right now. Let me see your other hand. Put your hand up there. Put your fucking hand up there. Jesus Christ. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel.
I'm sorry, brother.
Who else is in the car?
Put
your foot back in.
I'm so sorry. God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way as officers before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your fucking hands up.
I'm so sorry, officer.
You got them?
Man, dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Man, officer. Man, somebody got shot like that.
Hands on top of your head. Hands on.
He put the weapon back in his pocket once he put his hands on the wheel. That's not Derek Chauvin. That's not the cop who was accused of killing him.
Top of your head. Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm going to get out, man. Please don't shoot me, man.
I'm not shooting you, man.
Please, man. I just lost my mom, man.
Step out and face away.
So sorry.
Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Officer. Please. Don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
Can you not shoot me, man?
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face away.
Okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, officer. I didn't know.
Put fucking hands right now.
Not moving. Put your hands behind your back then. Not do nothing. Face in the floor. Hey, you come back. Stay in the car. Stop resisting, man. Yes, you are. Stand up. Please, man. Stand up on me. Stand up. I can do that wrong, man. Come on, walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me. Stand up. Why are you doing like that? Stand up. Come on. We're trying to get out of the street here so you don't get hit by a car. Take a seat. Sit down for me. Thank you, man. Thank you, sit down. Thank you, man. God. Sit all the way down. Yes, sir. I will.
All right, my man Cornelius Whitlock says the cops are wrong already. How are the cops wrong already? How are they wrong? The nigga went to a store.
What did they go over there for?
Because he went into the store. He paid for some cigarettes with a fake $20 bill. The guy said, "Give me the cigarettes back. No worries. But this is a fake $20 bill." He walks out the store and goes and sits in his car. The guy calls the cops.
Okay.
Yeah, so the cops are like, "Hey, what's up? Blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
You're under arrest. You just committed a fucking crime. Like, how are the cops wrong? Sir, get out the car. You ain't get out the car. Well, get the fuck out the car. Like, I don't understand why niggas think they deserve a level of decorum for getting arrested. Like, it doesn't happen like that. We put ourselves in these stupid ass positions, and then when shit goes left, we're the victim and we're absolved of everything. You know, as a black man,
let it play out. Let it play out.
All right, I'm gonna let it play out. I'm just saying. I mean, Cornelius, that's my man. I'm like, what do you mean? How the cops wrong? What if you was a cop? Get your ass out the car.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Got an ID on you?
He definitely high.
I got one at home. All right, what's your name? George. George Perry Floyd. I don't know what's going on. Man, that's it. Spell it for me. GEO. Yep. RGE. Last name? Floyd. Yeah, man. FLOYD. FLOYD? Yeah. Date of birth? And last time I got October 14th. October 14th? 73. Man, I got shot last time. Say, hey, man. If you mind doing me a favor, just run. Nah, man. George Floyd. Thank you. Man, you looking I don't want no problem. I ain't gonna do nothing. Man, you know why we're here? Why? We're here because it sounds like you gave a fake bill to individuals in there. Yeah. You understand that? Yes. And you know why we pulled you out of the car? Because you was not listening to anything we told you. Right, I didn't know what was going on. You listened to us and we will tell you what's going on, all right? When you're moving around like that, that makes us think way more is going on than we need to know. Right. And that's all I have is officers. Gotcha, all right. I'm gonna put you in the back of a squad, all right? Yeah, we're gonna sort all this out, all right? That's your car key? That's my sister. Key fob right there? Yes, sir. I got one problem. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that for you, all right? Stand up. I was so pissed with him. I was like, right now, I'm like, yeah, and look at you still able to reach your side. You're making me nervous. Yeah, I got you. You gotta walk with me. Ouch, man. You want something right now? No, nothing. Because you acting real erratic. Man, this is scared, man. Let's go. Yeah. You got foam around your mouth, too? Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier. Let's go. All right, let me come on now. Let me put him in the better now. Keep on. Okay, you my favorite man. And we're going to talk about that when we get in the car. I'm moving around. Oh, man. God, I'm in, man. Please, man, I'm in, man. Oh, I'm so in, man. Yeah, there's a lot to do. I did that. I'm not the phone again. I'm not the phone. Stay on your feet and face the car door. Please. No. Gotta look on you, man. I don't want to talk to you, man. Please, let me talk to you, man. You ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not going to listen to what you're saying. I'm not the phone. I hear you, but you're going to face the door.
This nigga's 6'7", full of prison, lean, mean muscle, refusing to get into the police car. He's actually really resisting arrest. Now, I'm not shitting on George Floyd. I'm just saying, look at what's going on here. These niggas didn't go to work and say, yo, I want to go kill a junkie. That's not what's going on here. They're trying to arrest him for committing a crime, and he won't get in the fucking car. And he's huge.
Listen up, stop. I don't know anything. I don't know anything y'all trying to do, man. I'm not listening, man. I'm not. You can ask him. They know me, you know. God, man, I'm gonna do nothing like that, y'all. Why is it going on like this? Look at my wrist, Mr. Officer. I'm not the kind of guy. Stop. I'm not the kind of guy. Stop. Please. I'm not the kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please. Stop. Away. Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Well, you're still going in the car.
Got anything sharp on you? I won't do nothing to hurt y'all. Do you have anything sharp on you? Sir. Not even like a comb or nothing? Nothing. I don't have nothing. Why y'all doing me like that, Mr. Officer? Please, crack it through for me and stuff, man. I'm claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Can you please crack it for me? Please.
Yes, I'll crack it.
Stay with me, man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know all this was going to happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't want none of y'all, man. Nothing. And I understand. And look, I'm listening. And I understand that people do stuff. And y'all know me. Okay. I'm having trouble walking out because that was my spine.
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Please, man. Please don't do that. Take a seat. I'm doing this. I'm going in. You're not. I gotta go in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat.
Mine, I don't believe me. Take a seat. I'm not the kind of guy. I'm not the kind of guy, man. Take a seat. Y'all, I'm gonna die here. Take a seat. I'm gonna die, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go into that.
Take a seat. I'll roll the windows down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not the kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down and you put your legs in, all right?
Y'all
Put the air on.
God, look at that. Look at that.
Not even listening.
Look at it.
We can fix it right now while you're standing up.
Hey, man. God, y'all doing me bad, man. Man, I don't want y'all to win. I don't want y'all to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic.
The nigga in the background, bro, just get in the car. You can't win. Just get in the car. He won't get in the fucking car.
You ain't gonna win. I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do anything now.
I'll roll the window down.
Man, I'm scared as fuck, man. When I start breathing, it's gonna go off on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
Okay. Let me count to 3. Let me count to 3. I'm going in. Please.
Let me count to 3.
I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to win. I get on the ground, anything. You know it.
You say what?
He could really be caused over having anxiety and he hot, so he been tripping out even more.
Okay. Every criminal has an excuse why they shouldn't get in a police car.
Yeah,
like, what are we talking about?
But like, so you can't use that he's big as shit for one way, but
this
it is
nigga
a small ass police car.
This nigga been locked up 8 times. He been in the back of a police car and he hasn't.
He ain't trying to do it again. He know he too big for that shit.
So
he got anxiety.
If you're being arrested or at least detained and questioned, and you don't want to get into the car when they're asking you to get in the car, you're giving them
he got to go in the car. But I'm just saying,
like
if you know you about to freak out, I think he still got to get in the goddamn car. But I think the point you're making is not. I mean, the nigga really could
get in that car. Like Lawrence Davis said, you ain't got to get in the car until you're under arrest, and I agree. If they ain't under arrest yet, I don't gotta go sit in
That's not true. That's not true at all. If you're being suspected of something, someone accuses you of a crime, they can cuff you, put you in the car, and question you, especially if you're acting erratic. How do I know this? Because I work in public safety. Plenty of times I get on the scene, I'm on the fire department, there's a person high just like this, being arrested or just trying to be detained so that they can even get on the ambulance. Motherfuckers refuse to get on the ambulance like this. And what I'm saying is,
that's the thing.
They put you. I've seen them put you in the car and then let you out. They put you in the car for their safety, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, what do you want the police to do? Let him go?
I think he got to get in the goddamn car. But I think he can also be freaking out about getting in there too, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just you're a big grown ass man. I don't know. Let's go. Let's finish.
You know that too, Mr. Officer. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
In the car.
Okay, can I talk to you, please?
You get in this car. We can talk.
I'm claustrophobic.
I'm telling you what's going on.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Come over here. I'm gonna pull you in.
Get in the car. In the front.
No, you're not getting in the front. Get in the car.
Okay, man.
You put me in the front.
I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please, take a seat. Please, man. Please. No. Take a seat. I can't choke. I can't breathe. Please.
Pay attention to what he's saying. He's saying he can't breathe. He's saying that he can't breathe when he could clearly breathe. I'm not saying this to defend the officers. I'm just being objective. He's saying he can't breathe when he can clearly breathe right now. And he's not trying to comply.
He's having an anxiety attack too, bro.
Okay.
I see Kirk say he can't breathe when he was talking to me.
Right, but
you know what it was?
You know what it was?
I don't want to hear this shit. This shit's real, man.
Oh shit!
Ye said it. Don't tell you a secret if you know. I'm Ye. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm about to put that on the soundbar. I'm not your personal hard drive.
Hey, look, I'm not your hard drive, man. Fuck
it. My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please.
Look, he dives out the car. He dives out the car. Says, I want to lay on the ground.
I'm going down. Get me the squad. I'm down. I'm not breathing. Bro, you gonna have a heart attack, man. I know I can't breathe.
My man said, you gonna have a heart attack. Get in the car.
Get in the car. I can't go, man. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Please, man. Do you want to kill me? He's under arrest right now for forgery. What's going on?
Take him out and just.
For what? Please, man. I can't fucking breathe.
Now here comes Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin was called as backup. That's Derek Chauvin, the cop who put his knee on him. That's him trying to get him out the car.
Come on out.
Or back in the car.
Yeah, just
on the ground.
I appreciate that. I do.
Right. You got your restraint.
Now look at the knee. What, is it on the back or is it on the neck? Or is it's definitely near the neck for sure. It's definitely near the neck. That is undisputable.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Stop moving.
Hold on. Shout out to my man Brandon Harris. I came into this late live. What's the point you're making this? We're talking about Kanye West's comments. The biggest news in black culture right now. Kanye West says the George Floyd comment on the Drink Champs. That's what we're talking about, Holmes. We've gone through the Kanye West interview and we got to the point where Kanye said what he said about George Floyd. So what we're doing is we're being objective here and we're going to examine exactly what Kanye West was talking about. That's the purpose of me playing this. I'm not playing this so I can prove one way or another if Derek Chauvin should be locked up for life in prison. I'm just playing this so that we can have an adult conversation and be objective, because throughout the past 2 years, we've been given a one-sided view of this scenario where there are multiple things that went on with this case that haven't been discussed. And on the flip side of all of this, this situation was used for a political campaign. Joe Biden ran off this. He ran off this situation. Now he's the president and he could give a flying fuck about any of this now. So we're trying to be objective here. That's all.
Mama. Mama. One of the front couches. Mama. On my right side back. Mama. All right. Oh my God.
This nigga speaking full sentences. His knee is, I don't know if it's on his neck or is on his back. If a nigga had their knee on your neck where you couldn't breathe, you cannot. Put your arm around, put your hands around your own neck and try to say what he's saying right now. Are the police being negligent? We'll get to that point, because there's definitely some negligence here, for sure. But up until this point, they're trying to restrain someone who is resisting arrest and resisting to get into the vehicle.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe this. Full sentences.
Mama, I love you.
Reese, I love you.
You got Hobble?
My kids, I love them. I'm dead.
Mine's in my side. It's listed. It's Hobble. Says Hobble.
I can't breathe for nothing, man. It's cold-blooded, man. My Mom, I love you. I can't do nothing. My face is gone. I can't breathe, man. Please. Please let me stand. Please, man, I can't breathe.
Get up on the sidewalk, please. One side or the other, please.
My face getting bad.
Yeah, should we get his legs up? All right. Hopefully the park's still sitting on the car there.
Now this is negligence right here. They should have put him on his side at this point.
I'm assuming so. He wouldn't get out of the car. He wasn't following instructions. Yeah, it's across the street, park's watching.
Please.
I mean, I think this is the whole point, though, man. I think this is the whole point. Why he got there now, as far as how they use this shit as a play, you know what I'm saying? I think this does tell a little more of that story. Like, they definitely, but we know that. But
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
still the problem, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's a problem, right?
Let the nigga up and check on the nigga. They
Yeah,
just like,
for sure. This is negligence on the part of the police because they should have let him up. No doubt. But this goes back to what I said prior. If George Floyd put himself in this position by telling niggas that you can't breathe when you could clearly breathe and not trying to get in the car, you on the ground now talking about you can't breathe. They don't know if you bluffing or not. Now they should.
I think which underestimate the anxiety. He hot. He's having an anxiety attack and a panic attack because the nigga probably know he about to go to fucking jail again. You know what I'm saying? All of that plays a factor into how he's panicking. Now,
For sure.
you know niggas gonna panic on certain shit, but it's not his job to like. They don't mean nigga need to die. Yeah, he probably high as hell.
Sure.
He probably having a panic attack, and yeah, that's neither here nor there. At this point right here is when you fucking up. All of that shit beforehand, it don't matter. In my opinion.
For sure. At this point right here, this is where the police fucked up. But I only say that to say this. Did this man wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I want to throw away my life and my career for George Floyd?
No.
This shit happened in the fucking moment. And what a lot of niggas don't understand is when you get, especially if you're a black man, and I don't niggas because you're black isn't an excuse. So how many times do you have to see black people in situations like this where you're going to get the point where it's like, okay, maybe I just need to approach the situation calmly. Maybe I need to take my L and fight it in court.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. But I think the Democrats weaponized this shit, right, on their behalf. But at the same time, Kanye tried to weaponize that shit in his statement too. Especially with the whole, he prayed 8 times with his roommates before all this shit. Man, that nigga was getting hot, man.
Right, that nigga did. I mean, first of all, who the fuck prays for 8 minutes? Nobody prays for 8 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about a prayer like that. I think he's saying while he was
No. In the documentary, in the Candace Owens documentary, they interviewed the roommates that he lived with, and they said that the day that he died, before he left out, because
he prayed with them for 8 minutes.
Yeah, he prayed with the woman that lived there for 8 minutes before he left out the house. That's where Kanye got that from.
I interpreted because I ain't seen the documentary. I thought he was just saying like this right here was a prayer because like he was praying. No. He actually prayed that day before he left out the house and said, you know, that's what was said in the documentary. Now, who knows if that's true? I don't necessarily believe they pray for 8 minutes. Niggas don't even pray for 8 minutes at Thanksgiving. Muslims don't even pray for 8 minutes on Ramadan. So I mean,
Kanye tried to weaponize that shit, and that's what I'm talking about. Period.
Well, I think Kanye was doing this. I think Kanye was shedding light on the fact that this scenario was weaponized against us, and it fueled that BLM movement to the tune of $80 million that they squandered, which is what the rest of the documentary got into. But you know. Let's continue, man. I'm not gonna play the whole thing out because it's kind of graphic, but
please, man. Please, somebody help me.
I had enough of this shit.
You got it? Agreed. We ain't gotta go this far to prove Kanye's point, nigga. We see it.
Okay, all right.
You know what happened last year? He laid there for 8 minutes and then he died.
Well, actually, no, he didn't die on the scene. He died 2 hours later in the hospital.
Either way, we can't prove that right here. So
yes, we can. I can pull up the documents. I have them.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this video won't prove that. So it don't matter. They picked the nigga up, carried him on out.
All right. You know, Kirk be popping slick all the time and shit, man. I thought I was going to pull out.
He is Jay, man. He is Jay, man.
But anyway, you know, I just wanted to. I want to be objective before we wrap the show up. We'll get into a little bit more Kanye, but before we get back to that, I want to just talk about what we just saw and being objective to the narrative that was put out there that this man just blatantly was like, yo, I'm about to smoke this dude. Like, I don't see that. Hold on. Okay. Real quick. Lawrence Davis says the toxicology report said he was not high. You're a damn lie. I just literally posted this shit that the medical examiner said, and he stated
I don't give a fuck what that paperwork say. I don't care what the paperwork say. I look at a nigga, I know he high. He high, period. You see the video, all that bullshit, I don't care. That, all that forwards or not. That nigga high.
But here's the thing. So that nigga looked like he was PCP high instead of fentanyl high. Fentanyl high.
Yo, come on, man. I ain't playing no games. That nigga was high.
Okay, see, my bad, fellas. I just, here we go. One of our hosts, Cohen Cosby. You said he couldn't make it, but he been commenting. You could have just gotten the goddamn video chat. Exactly. He says white men don't die in police custody. That's a fucking lie. I got the stats on that too. Should I pull them up? Or can we get on with the show? Stop making emotional statements about shit. Y'all niggas are too emotional. Not y'all on
if he was white or black, he nigga shouldn't have died. Period. He shouldn't have died. He shouldn't have died. But at the end of the day, he shouldn't have put himself in that position either. I mean, accountability work both ways, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's my objective view is that this was a two-part fault. This was George Floyd's fault, and this was negligence by Derek Chauvin, and the other officers were there because they kept saying, "Yo, turn him on his side," and they never turned him on his side. The other officers should have stepped in, pushed him out the way. Yo, turn the nigga over. Like, come on.
He needed to breathe, bro. He needed to, at least checked on him. Like, even if they ain't let him up, show some type of compassion and care for the nigga life.
So yeah, you know, I'm just saying niggas gotta stop being emotional, man. Like we have to look at these things objectively so that we can move forward, and things like this we can keep from happening. But to sit up here and say he wasn't high at the time of death, or like Cohen said, white men don't die in police custody, that's bullshit. They die in police custody all the time. In fact, they die in police custody more than any other group. And there are facts and statistics. There's facts and statistics out there on that. I'm not here for emotional nigga shit. Like, I can look at this shit. I'm gonna tell you right now.
You know you're gonna go into the per capita.
Hold up though. They buried this nigga like he was Jesus Christ. They got shrines all around this area of Minnesota to this nigga. Like he died for all our sins.
Burn me a G, man. No matter how I go, burn me a G, man. Fuck it. I ain't mad at George. George came up, man. Look, burn me a G. His family got some money. Never fed off the streets. Fuck it.
His family came up and they ain't even fuck with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dope. It seems like he was.
Now they trying to get more money. So Kanye West. God damn, you can't make this shit up, man. All right, man. Kirk, where you at?
That's what I'm saying. Why? What's the point? Like Kanye trying to weaponize the shit too, bro, to make one of his points. Like at the end of the day, Democratic Party is wrong for weaponizing it. The Black Lives Matter movement wrong for weaponizing. But then Kanye, you complain about the same people and then go do it too.
Y'all know who really came off?
Talking about.
Y'all know who really came off from all of this?
Who?
Twin, the leader of the Go Along, Get Along gang.
Oh, Steven Jackson. Bro, I cannot stand Steven Jackson, man. I mean, I don't know him from Adam, you know what I mean? But still, like the shit he be saying on Instagram is so corny, bro.
He hang out in O-Block, man. Calm down, man.
He said O-Block. Oh man. All right, let's do a little bit more Kanye, then we're gonna shut it down and we're gonna close this thing out, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna cry in front of y'all because that's how they get me, right? But I know that we lost him. And I know that this white company, Louis Vuitton, is now making statues of him, like as a martyr.
Hold on. My bad, man. Cole, you're faking, bro. Get on the video chat if you got all this heat and smoke. The man's friend died. If that nigga really cared about George Floyd, he would have got his ass up out of Minneapolis.
He talking about Steven
Jackson. Get out of here. If you really cared about that nigga, you would have saved his life a long time ago. Talking about that man friend died. Come on, bro. You know, man. Nah, I ain't gonna say that.
Locked up 8 times.
Right. Come on, man. I'm not trying to shit on the dead man, but like I really got a problem with the mainstream media making it seem like one outlet said this nigga was the new Dr. King or some shit like that. Well, his death was more.
He wasn't at the Malice in the Palace. He wasn't there.
Come on, bro.
They ain't homies.
This nigga was out here robbing pregnant women at gunpoint.
Malice in the Palace.
And y'all niggas want to make this nigga a martyr. That's why niggas lose all the time. Because we choose the wrong battles. And we let these motherfuckers, the same people that Kanye talking about, manipulate us into some fuck shit. And you wonder why you
going back and doing it too, though. That's my point.
I'll give you that, Jamal.
But we're idolizing the wrong niggas.
Cohen said, "Hey Jamal." Cohen said, "Do you hang with your drug addict friends?" We are the drug addict for like now.
I'm on the show with 2 drug addicts right now.
Stop.
What you gonna do? The link is pinned to the top, nigga. What you want to do? We here.
Man, that boy wild.
What you want to do, Cohen?
I don't know why he ain't just come on this J.
Do you see the link? I'll send you the link. Let me personally, let me know in the chat. If you want me to personally send you the link, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, he said, "I hate with y'all drug addict friends." That's funny.
Nigga talking about he at work on a Zoom, but you texting all that. Nigga, do your work, nigga. We over here doing real work. You do your work. He said he'll be off in 10 minutes. All right, let's go, man. Let's go. Niggas got me fucked up out here. I swear to God.
They ain't about to come out, bro.
Niggas got me fucked up.
I'm up here sober too.
Me too, man. I'm drinking water. That's why I stepped away real quick when you asked me a question. I had to go refill my water.
We need to do these sober shows more often, man.
Yeah, way more often.
All right, let's go, man. Come on, talk about sending. I'm about to send it to you now. Check your text, nigga.
Know why exactly? We say it's cancer.
But I mean, all right. I want to be careful with this subject because.
Wait a second, but tell me, could you even really run this interview? Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They blocked me out. The Jewish media blocked me out. This shit lit, right? I'm lit, right? I'm lit.
Yeah.
I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? JP Morgan, I put $140 million into JP Morgan and they treated me like shit.
Link sent, nigga. Link sent.
So if JP Morgan Chase is treating me like that, how they treating the rest of y'all?
That's outrageous, yeah.
And there's murderers with Chase accounts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I am outraged. By the time people they want to calm it down.
Because no matter what, you didn't break no law.
I didn't break a law.
No matter
I didn't break a law.
The bank shouldn't be a judge or jury on anything that's
going on. But this
is
it's like a social contract. Candace Owens has a word for it, I'm forgetting. But it's basically like they told Candace Owens she couldn't hang out with me. You know, I'm here because I didn't have no outlet. I was on Tucker Carlson, right? And people, Trump supporters, they think it's so, they think it's nice that a black guy supports Trump. But it's like, would they really support me when I do? Because they said legally I'm not allowed to say what's happening in 2024. But all those people that love me when I run against, when I wore the hat, right? Would they support me? I got to say something about the hat. That's one of the things that really drove me to the edge.
Talking about the MAGA hat.
The MAGA hat. Right? Imagine your own wife telling you, "Oh, the hat's small dick energy." Meanwhile, the Clintons got them trying to get people to get vaccinated. I know somebody, I'm not going to say his name, where Kim and Chris got on the phone with them trying to get them to push the vaccination to black people. Meaning that's how in tuned and how aligned with the Clintons that the Kardashians were through Corey. Through
I think he just said his name, or did he just not say he was going to say his name? Damn.
Corey.
Nah,
Corey is a plant. Yeah, Corey was, Puff Daddy, Nanny, Manny. You get what I'm saying? Then he was with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber got in trouble. And then when Bruce did a transition to Caitlyn, he popped up. Now he run around like he Kylie Daddy. But he's there for the agenda and controlling the power of that family. 4 of those people in that family have been raised Christian by Rob Kardashian. I know y'all want a question, but did you ask something right there?
I think you just gotta let some of this out. And then
Real quick, let's note one more time. Let's refer back to Nore's apology.
He gave them a chance to say, interrupt, do whatever, recreate the narrative, whatever, and they said no. We should just let you right there. He just
let him go.
Yeah, he getting them views up right now. He talking wild.
What was the right thing to do? Should let a nigga get on my show and start talking more reckless than me. That's famous. Let him go.
Let him go.
YouTube wanted to take that shit down themselves. I ain't taking down shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's not even venting or inventing. It's up. They done fuck with me too long. Every time they say my name wrong, it's like they calling me Cassius. My name Ali. If I change my name, you respect that I changed my name. It shows you the level of disrespect. Every time they say one of my outfits are bizarre. When the last time you read a headline and they called me a billionaire? For 3 years, Forbes wouldn't say I was a billionaire. It's all to diminish me so y'all wouldn't listen to me. So say when I did the Ye and Drake show, right? It's so funny, I look up and it said Ye, DRK right there. But I look. It's just a similarity to it.
Like me?
Absolutely. Gemini dyslexic, left-handed, made to be right-handed, so I could fit in.
Okay. All right. That's right. All right. Go ahead, continue. All right. I'm gonna take another shot. I'm gonna be honest. This is a lot. This is a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
Only the Duce.
Yeah. Okay. Only the Duce. This is beautiful.
Yo, think about like Nike. Nike is as popular.
Go ahead.
Like this is my thing, right? If he's so aware of how these people are trying to do these things to him, my only criticism is like, all right, why are you making it so easy?
What do you mean by that? Expound.
Like you doing this type shit, just lunching. Why are you making it so easy for them?
You think he's like, and by the way, I see, we got to insert the people here. Yo, do me a favor, people. Hit the goddamn like button. Share the video. Hit the like button. If you got a chance, shoot on over to the YouTube page and go on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Tripping, space, ain't, space, easy. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Select all. We're trying to get the hell off of Facebook, period. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he lessened as far as like exposing the Clinton shit. Like, yeah, I mean, if he got that inside information, that's good. Like, expose that shit. I can get you on that. But it's like the other antics that I can't get, and the contradiction and shit. Like when he go back and forth, like, nigga, you saying you want people to respect you by Ye, but your fucking Instagram name is still Kanye West. How about you get on your own board and then fucking everybody can get on board? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just shit like
you can't log into his account right now because it's been suspended. But you're right, it's still Kanye West.
I mean, come on. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's always an excuse for this nigga. That's all I'm getting at. Like, I fuck with the messaging sometimes. Like, I agree with a lot that he's saying, but it's like, bruh, all right, like nobody can't tell you. People try to talk to you, then like I don't want you to be censored, but like I feel like you be stepping on your own toes too much. Like, damn, maybe the nigga do need to be censored, but I'm kind of on the fence about that. Like,
I don't think anyone should be censored.
I just want to do better.
I think the Ku Klux Klan should be able to say what the hell they want to say. Everybody should be able to speak and say whatever they want. And if you don't want to hear what they have to say, don't watch it. Period. You know? Kirk, you got anything before I hit play?
No, I mean, I agree. I don't like the antics either, but I just feel like the antics be necessary. But I just have a different point of view. I don't think it's necessary to even expound on it. Keep going.
I'm a little confused. I think I'm high now.
I said it already. I was saying that I just said it already. Like when the media is trying to paint a picture of you, they trying to paint a portrayal of you. They control the narrative and the message. You have to do off the wall shit here and there to get the attention of the people before you go and say something new, or before you go and present a new message or a new idea, or try and get to a next level, like becoming a president or something like that. Like you gotta create your own firestorm, because that's what the media does anyway. We always talk about these trajectories of media patterns and shit. Like, when it becomes election season, like that year before, it becomes cycles of police violence. Like police end up killing way more black men in election years. If you look over the history, that was like 2015 with Michael Brown, I believe. That was like 2011 with Michael Brown, but 2015.
Oh, that was Trayvon Martin in 2011, I think.
Either way, it was one of them young niggas. And then 2015 was
Michael Brown.
Where it was Michael Brown. And 2016, I think, was Alton Sterling and what you call it? When was your thing?
Yeah, Philando Casson and the nigga that got shot in Louisiana.
It was Alton Sterling. It was the same day. But I'm saying, what year was that?
2016.
2016. All right, bet.
Election year.
So I'm saying all of this to say these election years, these cycles, that's when all that stuff happened. George Floyd was 2020. We see all of that. And that's the media doing their thing. They're literally rolling this shit out intentionally. Like, these joints don't be no random. It's you can see the frequency. You can see the pattern. So if you're trying to combat that and create your own media firestorm, you got to do that same exact thing. How does a nigga do it without you don't have like people, you don't have like access to go and make other news your news. So your news is your own news. So he does it for himself. His own family be his news. His own ploy of like wearing a shirt during Paris Fashion Week is the way he makes news. Like, he breaks his own news and then goes and starts the whole media firestorm before he goes and does something new. Like, I can't knock it because I see the movement and strategy in it. Like, we act like it's not a strategy, but it is a strategy. You guys see the strategy and all the other ops to understand that he's just running that same play. He's just doing it his own way.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think we owe this nigga a favor. I mean, like,
that's how I feel about it. I'm like, we literally watch other people do shit to us and manipulate us, and then get mad when a nigga starts to do it. I'm just watching him run the plays that are getting used against us day in and day out. And if he's trying to use them and advance his people as he does it, which we try and say he isn't, but he actually has as he's gone along, why not? Like, why are we knocking that? I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just trying to watch it, see how he keep going.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jay-Z, I respect Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's he's with the program. You know, I respect Ye. Let's go.
Is Apple, but it's company number 321. Apple's number one. Nike's on defense. It's not on offense. Whoa. Right? Because niggas love Nike. Right? So Nike is used for political influence because it's not about the money you make, it's about the position you have. So when they signed me to Gap, it wasn't to raise a stock price. It was to be able to be like, to tell the Fortune 500 companies that do deals with China, to tell them, hey, Gap has influence in the underserved communities.
Right.
That was what the deal was about.
That's the girl part, not you.
The same reason why I was in a Kardashian situation. So you would feel.
Hold on, let me ask you something, because
look, Nore just stopped. Did you hear what he just said?
That's one of those joints where you hate when Nore interrupts, because right there, like, he was about to go down the line.
He was about to tell you the truth of why he even married the bitch. Right? He got suckered into the family.
The same way you're using me to be a ploy for Gap, to be a ploy for Chinese industry, is the same way the Kardashians were using me to make Kim's name famous, to make her be able to get into the fashion industry, to make her relevant to Black people even more than just a sex tape. Like, these people, they be pawns. He's admitting to being a pawn. This is him right here. You talking about how he don't be held accountable? Him right here is admitting to being a pawn.
Just admitted to it, and Nore cut him off. You're right. He just admitted to it, and he's basically showing you all of these other groups of people are sucking the blood right out of us, but we don't care. They say Black Lives Matter. They say Black Lives Matter, and like, oh, they one of us. They can come to the cookout. Stupid ass niggas.
As a person that when we first seen the Gap deal, right? Yeah. We understand that rich motherfuckers ain't going in the Gap, but you know what? They was going in the Gap because of you, and it was going and it said powered by Balenciaga. But then you walk into the store, and then there's these clothes that's just on the floor. Is that degrading to somebody that's rich that want to come in there and support you?
We should degrade the rich. Everybody is dirt. Everybody on the same level beneath God, because we'll hop over.
That was all. I wasn't ready.
You know, we'll walk over a homeless person to get to the Gucci store. Terrible. Ray Kurzweil said, a utopia is possible where we're led by the least noble and the greediest people. I brought the head designer of Balenciaga, the greatest designer on our planet today, to Dimna. Dimna is the Ye of clothing. Dimna is the Drake of clothing. Drake is the greatest rapper ever.
And you said,
and I don't apologize about it.
What'd you say?
I said I'm about to top out. I'm holler at y'all, man.
All
right, bro.
You said in war he held fuck your baby's mother's mother?
Yeah, that was hard.
That was
hard.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's
like we was confused.
You know what it means. So,
God damn it.
And I put like, Corey know what it means.
Corey, oh my.
Hold up real quick. Coleslaw. Shout out to Coleslaw. He says, yay of clothing. I guess he meant to put a question mark.
No, I think he meant Ye is clothing. Ye is nothing in fashion. Is what I assume.
Ye is nothing in fashion. How do you come to that conclusion?
Sometimes you just ignore foolishness. We can keep it moving.
I mean, okay.
So,
Let me get another one. Tell them to bring out the Yabby Easy. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
Libra, happy birthday.
Oh shit. Okay. Ye is out there. Let's go. Speaking of that, are you single? Are you back in the market? You finger popping out there? What you doing? What you doing out there?
Yeah, you know, I'm the type of person I'm gonna go from girlfriend to girlfriend. Like I like focus. You know, I like to. Like I say, would it amuse you if I amused you? Like, I like to make a girl my muse. I like to take them and, you know, take them overseas or something like that.
Just in case you don't know, I studied.
Yeah. So
and I got the lights lighting up too. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I've been since you did the last interview. I've been Balenciaga. You know, my nickname is Yala, so now they call me Balenciaga.
That's what I'm saying.
I killed that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, so
Balenciaga
has the best design because they have the best designer. Period.
And that's not you?
I'm more like a Steve Jobs type. You know, you used to say to Steve, like, yo, you don't even program. You know, I would never disrespect a designer that been to school and that can cut and have dedicated their whole life and call myself a designer. I'm more an imagineer. I'm a visionary. And I place the pieces of our culture together. Even right now, you know, I want to bring joy and laughter. So even if say we wanted to like look at the interview and we have a conversation out and say, look, do we need this first segment? Let's just do the shit that's like, you know, it's controversial because people ain't gonna really name names, but it's funny still. I think about that. It's like, We need joy. It's too much pain.
Right,
You know, it's too much anger,
Right.
and it's too much trauma economy. You know, I'm not gonna be like, I talk about the left, the Democrats, and how they prey with BLM on our outrage. You know, even when I put up the DEFCON 3 tweet, I was outraged at this point.
What does DEFCON 3 mean?
It's like level of
like
Actually, when it's DEFCON,
it's like nuclear war shit.
But
Like,
I spelled it wrong. I have a tendency to do that. But
Gotcha.
DEFCON is actually that you're.
Cut Dro Rod just posted, he commented, he said, if you really watched it and hate this man, you need medical help. Nobody said he was perfect. He an entertainer, but he the only one speaking the shit that need to be spoke.
Oh, yeah, I just posted it.
That's the main, most important thing that's being said right here and right now. I've heard stories of Malcolm X, seen TV shows, seen movies, watched little speeches and things like that. Never seen it in my real life. I've heard stories of Martin Luther King, seen speeches, heard how he went to the White House and talked to the president, seen him do all of these type things. Never seen it in my real life. There is not one black man in my life that I have ever seen go and move and say the things that I hoped if somebody was in position of power, I would say if I was in that same position in power. And this nigga is stepping in and filling that position and saying these things. Like he went smack at the Jewish media, and the Jewish media is literally the oppression of our voice. When we go and say anything publicly that they don't like, they tell us it's anti-Semitic and we can't say it. And it could be true, and we could all agree with it, and we still say we can't say that. They say it's hate speech, even though nobody said anything about hate. We literally said we see what y'all are doing and how y'all are moving, and we like it so much that we're trying to do it too. But you all block us from doing it because you're the lawyers, you're the contract owners as far as the mediators. You're the people who are running the companies to sign these contracts and offer them in the first place. Like y'all have everybody in position. Y'all are strategic as hell, and you're running off secrets. And we all know this. And when somebody is actually in position to reveal those secrets and then not just like say, yeah, here's the secrets. Let's figure out how we maneuver and put the secrets into play so that our people can be better too. Because when we start moving like this and we're the ones with the culture, we're the ones with the athleticism, we're the ones with the music, we're the ones with all of that, we are going to be in a way better position. We're going to be in the position that we say we want to be in. We always talk about it, and we talk about it as some pie in the sky, I hope we get here type of thing. And we don't act like it's a real thing that's accessible and obtainable. This is the one person who's saying, hey, y'all, we can obtain this. Let's start putting into play to do it. But instead of me being the only one walking like this, we all got to start walking like this. And everybody's confused and acting like there's a problem. You, Cohen, just typed who's going to let you talk shit about them in their yard. So what we know is it's their yard. This whole playing field, this whole game of life that we in right now is their yard. So in order to get out of their yard, obviously you got to talk shit in it because there is no yard for us to play in. We don't have our own yard. We don't have access to our own yard because we're in a country where they're like, no, niggas, we don't want y'all to have a yard. So you literally need somebody who has a little bit enough power, obviously not all the power to be able to maneuver and to do all the things they want to do. That's why y'all keep talking about why is this a billionaire who act like he ain't got access or can't do whatever. You can have money, but if you don't have the money and the power and the respect, which our favorite show Power says in his intro, and which he said in this interview, it really don't matter that you got the money because they can still silence you. So he's just saying, I want all of this to be a thing. You also saying the revolution will not be televised. You're absolutely right. And that's why niggas like me, I don't even really argue with y'all. I didn't even really want to do this episode, honestly. That's why I stopped coming on the joint so frequently, because we talking about shit that honestly is not going to sway anybody's opinion. Like y'all be hell bent on this nigga's doing it wrong, and you don't even realize he's saying everything that needs to say, whether he's doing it wrong or not. Y'all ain't in a position to do it, and you don't know how you would do it if you got into that position. One of my favorite songs is Kendrick Lamar's "Mortal Man" because it talks about this exact shit. When shit hits the fan, will you still be a fan? Basically, is what that joint say. And it's literally, if I really go up against these ops who control all this shit, who can paint whatever picture of me that they want to, are y'all gonna ride with what they saying? Are y'all gonna ride with me? Pick your choose. Like this is how you gonna go. and we literally watching it right before our eyes. And y'all ain't riding with that nigga. So that's why ain't no niggas willing to step up in these last 30, 40, 50 years since they started offering people for actually stepping up and saying something against the establishment, because ain't nobody gonna ride with them when they actually do it. So he's like, fuck it, I don't even care. Because if y'all do off me, it's just gonna follow a whole bunch of people who hear this shit and who get sparked. Because it only takes a little bit. When you hear that truth, it sparks the minds. And when they go and find it, as long as they don't go and, censor and suppress the internet like they've been trying to do over these last 2 years with the pandemic and all of that, as long as they don't censor and suppress it, and you can still get access to this information like we could 20 years ago when I was just watching YouTube videos of Tupac and shit like that, then it's going to change. It's going to change.
Good shit, Cohen. What you got? Cohen Cosby has just entered the fucking building. Let's give him some theme music. All right, what you got, Cosby? You've been talking shit all in the chat. Supposed to be working.
I appreciate that intro. I was on a very long conference call, but it was great. Shout out to my partners at Fog Hill, the largest Black-owned facilities maintenance company in DC. They have some great funding opportunities. So you got to get the money, like I was talking about. So it was important for me to be on that call because you're trying to get a bag. And that's a good intro, right? I respect creators. I respect entrepreneurs. I respect business people. One of the reasons I really respect my partner Nore, because he built the company from the ground up. But he built the company in a way that his energy, his DNA, his specific ideas of how to change the world, how to have social impact is woven within the company. First, he was trying to start a school. He was like, well, I can educate these kids, but if I don't have end user or end outcome for them, which is a good job, a living wage, the ability to take care of their family, me giving them all this stuff in the school, I'll be better off creating something where I can hire people, right? I don't know you guys personally. You guys employ people. That's one of the best things you can do is give somebody a leg up in life. So I'll never disrespect Kanye as a creator, a job creator, or any of those things. But we got to get down to the brass tacks of things, and the things of what he's actually saying. And I always say a broken clock is right twice a day. This man is a walking contradiction. I'm not saying some of the things he's saying are not true, but he cannot be the authority and the voice on this particular topic because his life does not align with the things he says. I've watched Kanye for years beg for white acceptance. Literally get on Twitter and beg, get on Facebook and beg to get in rooms with these people, to be involved in the white fashion industry. And we know who runs that industry. You know what I'm saying? Literally watch him sign music deals, right? Bring people onto his label, sign to these labels run by certain people that he says he has a problem with, right? Bring other Black people into those systems, put them in place in these systems that he now has a problem with. Just like bringing his fashion brand and fashion empire over to these same systems that he's supposedly against.
What other system is he supposed to bring him to?
Exactly. And that's the whole point.
Y'all be tripping, yeah.
Black shit. There's no other place to bring it. You live in America. There is no.
You gotta ask for white acceptance. We mad that somebody wants white acceptance.
Not gonna do the filibuster. Y'all talk for 2 hours.
Not a filibuster. It's a legitimate question.
I'll address that really quickly. The two type of people in the music business, right? You have a Master P and you have a Kanye West. It's two type of people in the music business. You have a Birdman, and then you have a Drake, right? You have a what's my man's name? Out Houston. You have a rapper so you have people in the music industry that have chosen to do things one way and you have people in the music industry who chose to do things other way, the way they sign their deals, structure their contracts, to the like. You have your Dr. Dre's, and then you have your Jay-Z's. You have these figures in the music industry that their contracts are all structured differently. They all make money in different ways, right?
Can I make
There
two
are people in the
sentences?
music industry who choose to not sign over creative control of their things for the sake of I'm just a creator, but then come back on the back end and say, I can't get control of my things. But ultimately, you signed yourself up and other Black men and women to these systems that you now say you don't have control over. And then when you get upset and get mad, you want to try to dox people, you post your contracts, you secretly record executives, you do all of these things after you entered into these deals.
So he made the mistake and he's learning from it and teaching other people. What's wrong with that?
Kanye helped found Skims, right? Skims would not exist without Kanye West. It is not a coincidence that now that Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald Trump, husband of Ivanka Trump, venture capital firm, it found a way to invest and get around Kanye and own more in a company that he helped co-found.
And you don't see a problem with that. You think that's normal.
Kurt, and it's nothing he can do about it. Now that his deal with Gap and Adidas has gone wrong, and they start pulling up his contracts, there are clauses in his contract that he cannot create, he cannot make music around, he cannot disseminate brands and things that he created and brought to them. These are the people he begged to be with. And now that him signing bad contracts, bad deals, when he wants to go crazy, go left, he cannot, if he fucks up these deals, he will be handcuffed for years because of the deals he signed, because he seeked that white acceptance so bad. And when stuff started going wrong for him in the traditional music industry, I watched him pivot. He pivoted to the white Christian gospel industry. And he talked about, I don't want to be part of an agenda. I don't want to be part of, yes, absolutely. He started speaking at churches.
There's not white Christian gospel that Kanye doesn't make white Christian gospel.
Joel Osteen. He was with what's my man, the Potter's House in Dallas.
He's not white.
That's not white Christian gospel. That's why you're wrong.
Hold on.
You sound stupid.
Hold on. That was just a chilling circuit. That was just shit. But Joel Osteen is definitely that. So Joel Osteen, I think has the largest white Christian church in the country, if I'm not mistaken, per member.
You said he started making white Christian music.
And he visited Joel Osteen's church many times. So what he did, he started pandering and pivoting to the Christian industry. You know what I'm saying? When shit got rough for him in the music industry, he went from making a song with Lil Pump, She's Just a Fucking Hoe, to Sunday Service.
Name one white artist on his album.
So I look
Name a white artist on his album.
I look at how he gives lip service to one thing, but when it's down to the money and the brass tacks, his behavior says something different. So if you're supporting the Christian church by making gospel music, saying people need to come to Jesus, then you're saying, oh, I'm a free thinker, I'm not trying to be a part of nobody's agenda. That says to me that you don't even believe in the things that you're saying. They're at direct opposite. They're two opposite ideologies. Religion is about control, and on the other side, you're saying,
so because if someone's religious,
let me take it.
You can't practice your own religion.
You talked a lot.
I mean, Jesus walks. He wrote that.
Hold on.
20 years ago.
Norman, hold on. Chill out. That's a great start. Let's start with
so
Jesus.
He went from
hold on, Cohen. You're not talking anymore.
One or two, like,
Cohen, we already done with you.
Hold on, Cohen. Let Kurt go.
Cohen, you just talked for 10 minutes. Cohen, you're done.
To where though his music is charting now, no longer charting on the rap charts. He stopped charting on the rap charts, but he started charting on the Christian music charts.
All right. So with that being said, Christian music isn't a chart. It's gospel music. That's number one. The definition of gospel is the good news. That's number 2. He makes gospel music, which is not a problem because if you're making music that is good news, then it doesn't even matter. It's not aligning to white Christianhood. It's just
it absolutely is because he toured white Christian churches.
It's not because if you
speaking at white Christian churches and following a white.
Hold on, bro. You got to give him a chance to talk.
You have to give me a chance to talk.
You just went on and on. You got to give him a chance to talk. You got to give him a chance.
Saying the same thing over again. What white artist is on his album? There isn't that one white gospel artist, not one white artist in general on his album of gospel music. So that's the reason why they call. There's still also. You
got to give the man a chance to talk.
You're still talking. Colin. Understand? You haven't said shit. So with that being said, what gospel artist other than Fred Hammond was even on his album? I don't think you're going to find one. So that's even crazier. So beyond all of that,
so he didn't make a gospel music album.
I said who was on.
Did he make a gospel music album? Yes or
no?
He
never said he didn't make one.
And I just said gospel music is the good news. You said
no,
he made Christian music album. So I've debunked what you have said. Let's move on.
All y'all come to Jesus.
Bro, you got to let this man get his point across.
You can go and make your points like typing or something after you hear the playback and hear what you said and how you were wrong and how I corrected it. So now that we made those points about the music, prior to that, you used 2 examples. You said Dr. Dre and you used Master P. Dr. Dre is also signed to these white Jewish people that y'all are talking about with this Apple deal, with all of these beats and all those other things. He might have originally had it, but it's not no longer just his. He's also with the Jewish people that y'all tied in.
He sold it to them.
Cool. That's what we're all talking about. That's cool. That's business. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Then bring your wealth back to the black community. That's what Kanye talks about all through this fucking interview. So I'm glad you proved that point. Next, we talking about Master P. Master P.
Don't know black people work for Kanye.
We're not talking about that. Master P. Has done it supposedly all through himself and all of that good stuff. And yeah, you're absolutely right. He did make those waves. But what level is Master P at? When do we talk about Master P? When is anybody checking for Master P? We're at 2 different levels of business that we're talking about right now. You can do it the Master P way, and then you can be having people out here trying to buy some, what's them noodles and stuff like that called? Like all the different industries and brands that he got going on. But I don't see nobody trying to wear a Master P shoe. I don't see nobody.
Master P was, nobody ever said Master P was a good clothing designer.
You definitely just use him as an example of how you can do it yourself.
About the music business.
Of how you can do it yourself. Exactly. So what I'm saying is he's doing this on multiple levels.
Talking about music. You start talking about shoes.
Okay. Hold on.
No, I'm not done. Hold on. The reason being is because you use that as
the talk about music. None of them, all masterpiece artists complain about not getting paid. So
there's still a bad example is my point. And beyond that, the next point that I was trying to make was you talked about Adidas and Gap and how he signed bad deals and how he's trying to get out of them on the back end. Well, my point with that was you got to go to next levels. The problem with what he said and why he did that in the first place was to get the distribution deals, the deals with all of the factories and shit that you don't have, that you have to go through these people to get access to, because just like they redline housing and all that other stuff, they redline the resources to the industry. So he wouldn't have that, which is why Master P is at probably such a small scale when it comes to anything else other than music, and why you think that on that black route is going to be something that's positive, that's like has an effect at the back end. Remember what he said with Sway? Yeah, he said now Sway has the answers, but Sway has the answers now because he has access to those resources, where if he had the factories and shit back then, he'd be able to do it. He didn't have it back then. You don't have the money and you don't have the access to be able to touch those type things back then. That's the difference that what he's saying.
Well, you can't.
But no, hold on. I'm not done. I didn't ask you. You're not done. I let you talk. We let you talk for 10 minutes once you got on here. I'm not done, bro.
Beg for the money, then
yes, you can. Because here's the other thing. Our problem is we are playing on their field. That's what we continue to talk about. They set these deals up intentionally, these 360 deals and all these things is going to lock you in, where if we give you these resources, you got to bring these resources back to us. So now somebody is actually stepping up and speaking up for you because he's going through this shit, and you're going to go through that same shit if you ever get to that level. But unless somebody speaks up and decides to break it, let's break this. Let's change how we do this. And to do that, you got to break contracts. You got to complain. You got to make enough noise that people will back you and see this is wrong. This is fucked up, the way these corporations move. We should stop doing this type business. We should allow him to actually be able to access this so that he can then do this for his community and so on and so forth. All of these things should actually happen. If he was to say these same exact terms and things that he just said on this exact interview and not say Jewish, just say white people, black people do XYZ. White people do XYZ. Black people do XYZ. White people do XYZ. There will be no problem. We wouldn't even care. There wouldn't be hate speech because it was black and it was white. As soon as you say Jewish, all of a sudden it's hate speech and they don't want you to say it. And it's literally because these Jewish people got the access to control that shit. It's literally because you can direct your anger towards a certain type of people and not just the overall white, because race don't exist. White don't exist. Like black don't exist. That's why we can't get nothing when we try to sign up for shit, because we are black. We're not a people. You have to be a people so that you can point to something. So that's why we can get reparations. You can't get reparations because black people don't deserve reparations, because what is black? That's what we're saying. Target your energy somewhere. He's targeting his energy somewhere that's actually trying to change something for overall overarching people.
And I'll say this. I'd like to say this real quick. Cohen, you've mentioned all the gripes that you have with Kanye, and that's fine. You're allowed to have gripes. Now, with the exception of his comments on George Floyd, because I know we're going to be beating a dead horse arguing about that, right? With the exception of that, what do you have a problem with what he said? What about what he said and about who he targeted do you actually have a problem with? Where was he wrong? Besides your personal feelings about his record deals and all that shit.
So my problem is rhetoric versus actions, right? So when I watch someone,
I didn't ask you that. I said, where did he go wrong? What is wrong about what he said?
Just because you ask it again, I'm still going to answer it the same way. So my problem is rhetoric.
That doesn't mean you're answering it right.
My problem is rhetoric versus
doesn't mean you're answering
someone's actions. So I can hear what someone says, but then I can actually literally go back and look at,
is he right or is he wrong? That's the question.
So I look at when somebody says, man, we need to do our own thing, create our own thing, create our own systems. I look at the family he married into.
That's not what he said.
I look at the deals that he signs, the actual business that he does, right?
Yo, if a bum on the street told me to get life insurance, hold on, no. Stop you right there. No. Because you're going off on a tangent. That's not the question. If a bum on the street, hold up, no. If a bum on the street tells me, hold up, bro, hold on.
You cannot dictate my answer to a question. I will answer the question how I feel.
If a bum on the streets tells me to get life insurance, I'm not going to look at him and say, do you have life insurance? No, life insurance is a good idea.
When you start making straw man arguments, I'm not going to answer your straw man. I'm going to answer the question that you actually asked me. So we're getting back to it. So I can look at someone's rhetoric, and I can look at what they actually do with their money, how they sign deals, how they get online and beg white corporations for them to be a part. He begged these same people that he's saying now he has a problem. He begged them to be a part of their system.
So does that make his statements wrong? So does that make his statements wrong? Have black people not been manipulated by other groups?
So if you're not willing to do the slow build to build up manufacturing, build up resource, build up the
here we go. Question not answered.
If you want the fast route, if you want venture capital, if you want investment, if you want these things to supercharge the business and get you to the place you want to get to, we know who runs the venture capital funds. We know who runs the banks. Right or wrong?
Did he not make $1 billion? Was he not in debt $53 million 6 years ago? And is he not a billionaire now?
So can you answer this question?
The question is answered. You're talking about his moves. You're talking now. I'm gonna get in the swamp with you. You're talking about his moves and what he's done. The nigga was in debt $53 million. He's out of debt now and up $3 billion.
So you can't. So it's like you're running on the plug.
Was he right about what he said about specific groups?
I'm gonna get
sucking the blood out of the black community. Was he right or wrong?
Once I finish running the bag up, man, fuck the plug. I ain't fucking with the plug no more. The plug is a problem. After you took the pack from the plug and went and ran it up.
So is the plug still not the problem?
He got the money from the plug.
I mean, you niggas listen to the real Rick Ross. Y'all listen to Freeway Ricky Ross talk about the plug. How fucked up the government was when he took all the money from the plug and made millions of dollars.
Who did Kanye get the money from?
That's not even the question. I already answered it.
You said, what do I have a problem with the things that he said? I look at people's actions.
I said, what did he say wrong?
Rhetoric. So what that interview was rhetoric, right? If I want to know about Jewish relations in this country, I'll listen to Louis Farrakhan. I'll listen to people who've actually put boots on the ground in their community.
Louis Farrakhan supported the shit. Louis Farrakhan supported it.
You listen to Louis. Hold on. What financial contract has Louis Farrakhan ever signed with a member of that community?
Who's more credible in dealing? Who's more credible in talking about race relations in this country, Kanye West or Louis Farrakhan?
Neither of them.
No, this is not a neither question.
It
Who's more
is.
qualified to talk about
They're both
race
just as credible.
relations in
They're
America?
both just as credible.
I mean, they're both black.
They're black
Who
human
is
beings.
more credible? This is a who
Both
is
of
more
them.
credible.
Both of them.
If I would say who's more credible, talk about Islam, or if I say who's more credible, talk
If you
about
said
sneakers,
who's more credible, talk
who's
about
more
Islam.
somebody has the area of expertise that the other person does not have.
So what does Islam have to do with this?
So no, we're talking about who is more credible in speaking on black issues. If I wanted to listen to someone talk about the relationship between black people and Jews in this country, it would not be Kanye West, because his actions have showed me he will beg them for money, take the money, build whatever he has to build, and then go talk bad about him after he took the money from him. If he so much did not believe in these systems, he would not have taken the money from these systems to build the business that he built. Now that he has built the business, he's going to go against these systems. And another thing, what I don't like about what he said in the interview, he does not provide solutions. He never provides solutions to the problems he talks about. He uses the problems to drum up controversy, drum up support, but never talks about the solutions. That's why I prefer more solution-oriented people like a Louis Farrakhan. Even goddamn, I prefer more solution-oriented person like Jay-Z. At least in his lyrics, he's gonna tell you, look, this is how you do it.
All right, pause right quick.
This is how they did it.
Can you pause right quick?
You have to become financially free. You have to make investments. You have to build something of your own that someone cannot take from you. So Kanye West is talking about this system that he took from and built, right? Built from the system, but now it's just da 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 da. I'm not saying the things that he's saying are not. Some of the things he's saying is not true. I don't think all the things he's saying are anti-Semitic. A lot of the things he's saying is actually factually, but realistically, who's gonna let you come in their backyard and throw shit in their backyard? I say this on this show all the time.
That's
the reason why I do a media platform is because we do not own our image. We do not own.
That's why you're at the scale.
That was Kanye West's point.
Kanye's at the scale he is.
Own these things. So
that was his point.
I look to people who just don't give lip service to it. I look to people who have owned, built, distributed, and operated their own systems, even if they're not on the same level as Kanye West is, but they actually practice what they preach. Kanye West does not practice what he preaches, so that's why I have a problem with him coming out and spewing this rhetoric all the time.
All right, cool. So now I'm about to show you this. This right here is a video of the person you just said you would want to speak for you on Jewish issues.
I said who I would listen to. I didn't say speak for me.
All right, bet. So shut the fuck up and listen to him. I'm about to play him talk about how he supports Kanye West's views on these Jewish issues. Listen.
Did I say I didn't?
Hold on. Let's just do the video.
I never said I did. Did I ever say I disagree with Kanye on this?
Yes. I asked you why you disagree with him.
No, I just said I disagree. He's not the person because his actions don't line up with what he does. Before Kurt said something, I said a lot of the things he said is factual, but he does not give solutions, outcomes, or he does not practice what he preaches. That's exactly what I said. So don't try to flip it around like say, "Oh, I disagree with everything Kanye said." I never said that. I said
what you said was, let me tell you why you sound stupid right now. I didn't say that. You said you would listen to Louis Farrakhan on Jewish issues. I said, okay, then listen to Louis Farrakhan on Kanye West Jewish issues.
But I just said I don't disagree with what Kanye
I said listen to your Jewish issue idol.
Does not
is what I said.
practice what he preaches or provide any outcomes in terms of solutions or put anybody in position to have that.
You're doing a filibuster.
That's the problem.
You're doing a filibuster right now.
You're trying to make it seem like I don't agree with what I don't think what Kanye said is anti-Semitic. But if you put it in, if you frame it as, oh, I'm going to take the money from the people, and then turn around and say how bad they treat me, be like Farrakhan. They don't take money from those people.
So, buddy. So
they don't. They have their own system in place. It's plenty of communities out here who don't take money from them.
So, buddy.
So you can't be the guy that's taking that much money from them and then turn around and telling the community, They the bad guys. Don't do what I did. Don't take the money from them. Even though I'll take the money from them again if it suits me at the time. If I want to build this factory, if I want to come out with a new shoe, if I want to come out with a fucking space rocket, whatever the fuck he thinks of, he gonna go to the bank and get the money.
Let's go to the video, Kirk. I'll be fair. Let's play your video.
Hold on.
Have you heard of the spook who sat by the door?
So now Kanye the spook is out by the door?
No, but what I'm asking is, if you fuck with that, you'll be dumb to say, I'm not going to fuck with the person who gets in. And then when he gets in, comes out and says, hey, y'all, don't go in there. Why wouldn't you fuck with the one person who has the example? Because he's actually been in that fire. Why wouldn't you listen to that? You gonna listen to some nigga who ain't never been in the fire, who only watched the fire from afar and be like, hey, y'all, that's fire. We shouldn't touch that. Versus the nigga who been in it was like, hey, y'all, I experienced that fire. I'm out here now, and it's like, hey, y'all don't want to go back in there. You saying you wouldn't listen to that person? You're an idiot.
When I'm 30 years old, I don't have to.
All right. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down.
I don't have to put my hand on the stove anymore.
Y'all are crazy, man. You don't even know how crazy you really sound.
At 30-something years old to know the stove is hot now.
All right. You want me to play this video, Kirk, or what?
Yeah, play that joint.
All right, I'm gonna play the video.
Has jumped on Kanye West because he said.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck happened. Okay. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second.
He said all that, then couldn't even play the damn video.
Hold on.
That's like
look. I mean, hold on.
Hold on.
Do you know how to work any of this shit, nigga? All right.
It seems like the blind leading the blind right now.
All right, we popping.
Kanye West because he said black people don't have the same level of connections as Jewish people. Black people don't have the same connection as oil people. Quote. Did he lie? No. He told the truth. And the ADL, Mr. Foxman, issued a press release on the second day of December 2013. And this executive director said, quote, if the comments are true as reported, this is classic anti-Semitism. There it goes again. The age-old canard that Jews are all powerful. No, you're not all powerful, but you certainly are powerful. And you control the levels of government. You don't want to admit it. But as a celebrity, you're telling Kanye West he should know better. He does know better, and that's why he said what he said. Then you said to him,
And he ends this joint.
That he would take responsibility for his words, understand why they are so offensive, and apologize to those he has offended. You know what, Mr. Foxman? I wish you and I could have a dialogue. You wouldn't put that small-time stuff over on me that you put on scared-to-death Negroes, that if they mentioned you and you call them anti-Semitic, they start bowing to you and your pressure. Kanye West, don't bow to the pressure to apologize to anybody. You said nothing wrong. Who are you, Farrakhan, to tell him that he said nothing wrong? I am directly from the Christ and the Messiah. So what I tell you has more weight than anything that these enemies might want to say. You have nothing to apologize for. It is their fear of the truth. And that's why it gives me pleasure to defend my brother.
All right.
So that nigga defending the nigga that you say we shouldn't be listening to. And I also want to add that video was from 2013. He since has had plenty of meetings and conversations with Farrakhan. You think he don't know shit, but he's talking to these people who actually know shit and doing something about it, which you claim ain't happening. I don't know which I be seeing. That shit is scary.
Okay.
Like, we're watching the same world.
So Farrakhan is an example of literally
Now you
practice
about to
what
just
you.
now you about to
Farrakhan is an example
go
of
against
literally
Farrakhan.
practice what you preach, right? So I would rather listen to somebody who practices what they preaches versus somebody who provide lip service. So let's say that video is from 2013. So Kanye West has been counseled and has been getting information from Louis Farrakhan since 2013, but yet he still signed record deals with Jewish people. He still went to banks controlled by Jewish interests to get money from them.
And he still talking bad about it.
So one would say, well, dang, you have the information, but you're still acting in a way that's contrary to the information that you got. Should I trust your opinion on the subject? Probably not.
Hey, can we do final thoughts now?
You guys ready for the final thoughts? Oh, hold on, real quick. I think we got some people who.
I ain't about to keep grabbing the y'all about this. I said what I had to say.
I heard it. Thing, no, when you hear
about it, y'all don't.
Really,
but I'm not trying to
really
sway nobody.
Talking to Farrakhan since 2013, but still doing the same nonsensical things. Damn.
Exactly, man.
You kind of
Nation of Islam got their own
went
bank.
against your own point.
Hey, the Nation of Islam got your own bank. I didn't go against my own point at all. I made my point. The whole comments and he was talking about how they love my point.
The Nation of Islam has been self-contained in American society for a long time.
What bank they use?
I don't know what bank they use.
Then shut the fuck up because you don't know.
But you don't know what bank they use. So
the answer is I don't know.
The
answer is I don't know
what bank they use. But you don't know what bank they use.
But I also said that.
So from my understanding of their the way they do business, they have limited contact with those people because.
But I don't care because you don't know.
They take certain stances.
You contemplating something right now.
So what they're able to do is because they have a self-contained community,
all the
self-contained lifestyle.
They're able to notice how he's talking about something real long that he don't know.
They're able to actually practice what they preach versus people giving lip service to certain things and not actually doing the things that they're advising other people to do. So Kanye West is advising people to do this in 2020, but he didn't. But
he literally just said Farrakhan knows it all, and we played a clip from Farrakhan.
He didn't take that.
He said Kanye West is right.
They don't like when you can shut them down, bruh.
Yeah, I'm not.
You see how long he's talking, and the answer to my question was he don't know. Why is he even still talking? He should have just said he don't know.
Say that he got that advice over a decade ago.
Hold on, real quick. Charles Giles. If you wanna, I pinned the link in the comment section. If you want to come in, come in.
Never answer that question. Is it safe to say that he got that advice over a decade ago and he didn't follow it?
Can you ask that question again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You're breaking up.
I said, is it safe to say that he got that advice over a decade ago and he didn't follow that advice?
I mean,
it's not safe to say that because he didn't give any advice that said don't do business with Jewish people. He said keep your foot on their necks, and that's what he's doing. So he followed the advice.
So how are you keeping
your
foot
up? Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Your man. This is a complete shutdown, man.
Let me ask this question to Trip Simpson. How are you putting your foot on someone's neck that you're enriching?
I see how I asked.
Who? Okay, hold on. Ask me that question again. I want to make sure.
How can you? Farrakhan gave Kanye West the advice to keep his foot in their neck, right? How are you putting your foot on someone's neck that you're enriching?
Okay, can you first explain how he's enriching them?
He's doing contract deals with them where he's not making the majority of the money.
By then enriching himself and then notifying his people
record
how they maneuver.
His dealings with the bank. He said in an interview he put his money in JP Morgan Chase. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds.
No. I'm about to answer your question. I want to answer
the question. Don't get too far. Just let us
answer your question, right? So one of the businesses that I own, right? We had some issues with the people that we were leasing the building from. All right, I see you, Chaz. We get your hand in a second. I see you. So we had some issues with one of the people we were leasing the building from, right? Keep in mind, I'm paying these people rent or lease to lease their space. However, I had a serious issue with the way they were doing certain things. I kept my foot on their neck, and I didn't go for the BS that they were doing to the rest of their tenants because I wasn't going for it. I kept my foot on my neck while they were still making money off me, and I was still making money using the space that they provided for me. You can put your foot on somebody's neck by still do business with them and make money. Nobody's saying that we should starve certain communities out. We're just saying we demand a level of respect and a level of business to how we used to do things because we're tired of being manipulated and we're tired of our resources being extracted from us in a negative way. That's the idea here. Nobody, Jewish people.
Let the darker Jews into the party. Y'all are
So-
getting money.
so we're talking
y'all do
about
business well. Let
so
us
I
in.
like
Is
to
literally
answer,
what
but
he said.
we're talking about specific industry, right? So maybe I should have made the question a little more specific. The music. So he signed music contracts within the music industry, right? When at a time within this world, people have chosen to, divest themselves from certain parts of the music industry because of the things Kanye West actually talks against. People have decided to go independent, do their own distribution deals. There are levers and mechanisms in place where you do not have to sign to a major label, create a imprint on a major label, sign artists to that major label to distribute your art. So my rationale is, how are you putting your foot on someone's neck if you're using your influence, your platform, and also bringing other Black men and women into that system to enrich that system? I can then say, yeah, you fighting a good fight, you keeping a foot on their neck when you only speak up when something's being done wrong to you specifically, or you feel like you have a personal problem. That's been the only time I've heard him speak out.
Okay, so we're gonna go to we got a new caller in here. Caller, please state your name. You don't have to give us your real name, where you're from, and what you want to get across to the group here.
Oh,
Yep.
my bad. I didn't know you was talking.
You up, man.
Nah, I appreciate y'all for having me on this. I've been, a long time subscriber of your show.
For sure.
I really don't say too much because I'm in the music business and I'm currently, you know what I'm saying? I'm the nigga that pretty much brought the reason why Wale is who he is. We broke him 15, 20 years ago. So a lot of the shit that people don't know that's going on, like what he was saying, I'm not going to try to convince you that Ye is right, or I'm not going to try to change your mind. It ain't about to change your mind. It's about taking some of the shit from his conversation and using it to your best ability. It's not really about he was saying everything right. You hear me? Mama got my son here. It ain't about him saying everything, saying everything was right. It's about, just taking the little tidbits that he can give you and whatever you can use to your ability. And I'm teaching him the same thing. I got 3 sons, ages 16 to 9 months. And I'm kind of teaching them. I live in Beverly Hills. I moved from DC probably about 10 years ago. And I live in Beverly Hills and I'm around all the shit. I see everything. I see everybody. I know motherfucking secrets that don't nobody else know. And Ye talking real shit. Cause the same way that I live in Beverly Hills, I'm still trying. I'm out here because I need to be a catalyst for the kids from DC. So therefore, I can take all my connects and take them back home, so we don't have to go through the same shit that we went through when we came out here with a dickhead nigga like Wale doing music for him and he wasn't paying us. Shit. So just because I lost a lot of friends at home, dog. Like I lost a lot of people that I thought that had my back because they were looking at like, oh, well, how you fucking with Wale? Nigga, it's an ends to a meet. You gotta get out of the fucking city first. That wasn't our goal, nigga. Our goal was Kendrick. And we just got on Kendrick's album. We got 2 records on that motherfucker. So that was the goal. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta take some hits to actually prove your big point.
Yeah, I got you. So you're saying as far as the music industry goes, and the certain community that's in question here, Kanye West, according to your lived experience, is correct.
Yeah, because you listening to Jay-Z, nigga. Jay-Z talking about stop taking advances. That nigga sent us the first fucking. That nigga sent us a $60,000 publishing deal. You talking about Jay-Z? Like, dog. Jay-Z, listen. Jay-Z doesn't even practice what he preaches, bro. Like, he's the main nigga that's talking about telling young niggas not to take advances, but you sending $60,000 publishing deal for 3 niggas that produced on the Wale album. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, all this shit is rigged, dog. And Ye put niggas in position like Virgil. He showed niggas, he could have put himself in that position, but he put niggas
No,
like
he couldn't
Virgil in
have.
that position. You know what I'm saying? He put.
No, he couldn't have.
Bro, you listen to this
talking about
bullshit
Virgil?
and you think he couldn't have, but he could have, and that's the
He
thing.
could have put his
He
own
created
self in
a
those
whole.
positions.
He created a whole
He
design
came out and
school.
said out of
They
his
went through
own
that design
mouth
school.
in interviews that he was jealous of Virgil because they hired Virgil instead of him. Is that not a fact?
He still put him in that position.
He can't be in that position, bro. He has other stuff going on, so they hired somebody who could. He has.
Kanye West said out of his own mouth he wanted that position very bad, and he was jealous that Virgil got it, and that damaged their relationship. He said that out of his own mouth.
Yes,
So
we
At least he was honest enough to say it. I mean,
But what I'm saying is
him and Virgil.
Virgil,
you
I want my man. Cohen, stop trying to out talk people sometimes and really just listen. This is one of these times where you really should listen to my man. But I want to, my man,
respond. I'm an active listener.
Chaz, I want to let you finish what you're saying real quick. Oh my God, bro, we heard you.
I was upset that they picked Virgil over me. I thought I deserved that position. So you can't put nobody in a place that you think you deserve to be. I didn't disagree with any of the other things he said. I just disagree with that thing he said about Virgil.
Well, I'm talking about.
I want to let you finish your point too, but I want to rebuttal to him real quick.
Somebody was publishing
you stop talking
and signing in advance. I think are two different things because when most artists come into the game, they do you do a publishing deal, right?
No, you don't. You don't.
So can you, hey Chaz, can you school him real quick? But before you school him, I would like to
do a publishing deal. But once your music starts popping, even if you're an independent artist, you do a publishing deal because that's one of your major revenue streams. So I don't think you can conflate him talking about someone signing.
Everybody don't take a publishing deal, nigga. Cohen. And we didn't take a publishing deal. We did Wale's album in 2009, dog. We didn't take a publishing deal to 2015. So we lived off of whatever we could. Selling books on SoundClick. We lived out of a car. We was off my EBT card, dog. So like,
I'm not disrespecting your hustle.
Can I ask you a question?
Everybody is in the chat just asking you to listen, sir.
Everybody's asking you to listen, Cohen. Everybody, Cohen.
I'm not disrespecting your grind or what you
Can I ask you a question? I'm not talking about my grind. Can I ask you a question?
To the show that might not know the difference between someone signing a record deal and taking it in advance. They have to recoup and owe back versus you taking a publishing deal.
Both of them the same, bro. Both of them are the same. I'm trying to tell you, bro. This is why I have a problem with talking to people from home and that haven't had any type of industry music business.
You know my experience in the music business?
I'm asking. That's why I wanted to ask you. What was your
listen to him?
That's what I'm saying. I know the difference between those two financial instruments. Someone taking the advance, which is a loan that you have to pay back.
They're both the same thing. They're both loans.
Versus a publishing deal.
They're both loans. They're both loans. They're both loans. How many publishing deals have you signed? That's what I wanted to ask you.
So do you have to pay back
publishing deals?
You have to pay back all of it. All of it's a loan. This is my question. All I want to do is ask you a question. Where's your what have you done?
I never signed a publishing deal, but I know the difference between an advance and someone selling a publishing. Just like someone selling their catalog and someone taking a
publishing deal is not somebody selling their catalog. A publishing deal has nothing to do with selling your catalog.
So, because a producer can sign a publishing deal, but it's not taking it wouldn't traditionally take a record advance.
Everybody signs it. Everybody signs it. That's the whole purpose of taking a publishing deal. You get an advance. And as an artist, producer, whoever you are, if you worked on a record, you can everybody can take a publishing deal. And no one takes a publishing deal without somewhat of an advance. But all of it is a loan.
You have to sign to a label if you're taking advance, you sign to a label. If I produce a bunch of records in DC, I can sign.
It's not a label. You don't have to sign to a label. You can sign to me. You can sign to me. I don't have to have a label.
So I have publishing rights to that published music.
No,
So
you're
incorrect.
Incorrect. I can have a publishing company myself, be sitting in my house in a 1-bedroom apartment, a shitty apartment, and I can sign you. Long as I can go and recoup, long as I have the resources and the team to go recoup all of your royalties, that's how I pay you. But if I don't,
you just say you have to sign me. That's the difference.
I don't have to have a label though.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Hold on. I need to interject. Bro, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, let's take a break because I want to get a true dialogue with someone who's in the industry. Cohen, we hear what you have to say, but at the same time, you gotta take a chill pill and let the man talk. At the same time, you got to give other people a chance to respond.
I wanted to. That's what I was about to say.
Hold on. I got you, Kirk. Did you have a question for him?
No, I wanted him to finish what he was saying as far as the point he was making prior to us even going into this publishing deal. But before he made that point, I wanted Cohen to not take things so fucking literal. When the man said Kanye could have had the job himself, he's not mentioning the fact that like, oh, Kanye went all the way in for the interview and everything, and they gave it to Virgil over him. What we saying is there are inroads that Kanye has made based off of what he's done, where if that was the route that he was pressed to take, he would have made those maneuvers and situations to make that shit. Instead of starting a design school for people to go and learn to design and then get implemented into that design fashion world because they went to his school now, and those design fashion people are hiring these people out of his school to go run their businesses, is how he could have been running their businesses instead of putting other people in place. Bro, he did that.
I understand you a Kanye stan, but he said
it's not about being a stan. I know what he said. I know what he said. We're not talking literal because right now I'm not talking about
when Kanye has said
this is one of those times when he keeps interrupting, bro.
What his ultimate goals were in the industry, and when he did not reach these goals, he decided to go do other things. So I just tell the people who watch, go Google what he's physically said out his mouth on this topic.
I don't think that's the point.
I heard that interview where he said the same thing. I'm not doubting that he said that.
Cohen,
so don't interpret his words.
Cohen, my knowledge, the only reason I tapped into this because we've been paid by good music. I've been around Kanye numerous of times. I know that he's not crazy. I know that all of this is part of his plan.
I don't think he's crazy either.
People are falling for it, and it's sad that our people are this naive to not know what's going on. We're on Tiana Taylor's first album. We're on good music. We're on the Cruel Summer album. We were actually taken off the Cruel Summer album at the last minute because of Kim Kardashian. So, like I said, like this shit is deeper than what you actually think it is.
So his wife that he chose and married.
Yes. It's a money situation.
And he likes to question shit like people don't know their own experiences, dog.
You can't talk about the outcomes like, man, it was because of her. He picked her.
Oh no. What I'm not saying I'm mad about it or I'm upset about what happened and it wasn't his goal. What his goal is a financial goal. A lot of people get married for finances all the time, bro. Like, what makes him different?
Hey, look, that's
what makes him different.
If you'd have saw the comments in the chat earlier, I this is why I suspected he married her, and that's what I put in the chat.
Yeah, it's a financial thing.
This shit is war. Yeah, the same way he could tell you how they use him as a pawn, don't mean he's not using them as a pawn too. You gotta know both sides.
Like, nigga, we hate dog.
That's why we
hate all our hate all our music. We only probably like maybe 60% of our catalog we don't even like. You know what I'm saying? But we knew that we had to make some moves and we knew we had to work with some people that we didn't want to work with to get to the bigger level. And that was getting to Kendrick. We knew when we came out here, the first thing they did, Kanye wanted Hands on the Wheel that we did with Schoolboy Q. We broke Schoolboy Q with Hands on the Wheel. Everybody, other people would say it was the Man of the Year record. Nah, it was Hands on the Wheel. And Schoolboy told us that himself.
Better than
but we gave that. Kanye called for it right when he knew that they had it. And he asked for it. And I said, don't give it to him. I said, don't do that. I said, we already got a situation with TDE. I said, this is where we're going. And Craig still, the producer, he's still mad. He still gets upset about that we didn't give that to him. But now he sees, okay, that was a means to an end. That was a way of getting in to get to Kendrick. All we wanted to do, the only reason we came to LA was to get with Kendrick. We didn't come to LA for no fame shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know who we are. That's why you talking to me like this. You don't even know who I am because I don't need no fame in DC. I don't need nobody to know. I'm not trying to get robbed. We from the hood, like niggas from the streets. I still be going in the streets. I like going in the streets without nobody knowing me. But that's how you gotta move. And Kanye moved in silence. He used everything. He used the College Dropout album. He used all that shit. He was always had this in mind. He always had these plans.
Oh God, I'll be back in a second, man. It's
Yeah.
so hard not to act.
He was always had these
like
plans.
he be lying to y'all.
So I'm not surprised by anything that's going on. What I am sad about is I think what went overboard is when his mom passed. I think that really took him over the loop, over the hump. Where he wouldn't be this egregious in certain ways. I think his mom passing and him not having nobody to talk to, I think that really took him over. That's why people are pissed.
He said in his interview that his dad said he needs to be more sophisticated with his words. I think if his mama was around, he would be way more sophisticated with his words. And that's a lot of people's gripe with him in the first place. It's not what he say or that he's wrong or anything like that. He leaves too much for interpretation because he's not sophisticated enough with what he's saying and the points he's trying to get across. But it's because
he says a lot of wrong and accurate shit.
But he doesn't. You just don't want to hear that shit, bro.
All the time.
But I'm out here Cohen with Jabari from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The first thing I told Jabari, he went to Riverdale Baptist. He from the city. He from the area. The first thing I told him when I saw him out here, I said, none of these people are your friends, bro. None of these niggas. I said, if you ever need somebody to talk to, everybody, soon as things go wrong, everybody is gone. As soon as your success gets heightened, all the people that you thought that was in your corner, even motherfuckers that we passed so many people, dog. It's when they say it's lonely at the top, it's lonely, and Ye is lonely. That's it. He's lonely.
Facts, real quick.
To talk to no more, please do not bring no Jay-Z into it. That's owned by Live Nation. In the NFL,
that's
dog.
what I'm saying.
He's one of the
all
worst
these people
niggas,
that are owned.
Like you messed up your whole conversation by bringing Jay-Z up.
So Kanye is not owned by Gap and Adidas?
No. He is, but he's telling you that. He was telling, he owns them.
Answer the question. He actually
no.
answered
I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He is not. I want to post.
He owns them. There wasn't nobody wearing no Adidas until Kanye started putting Yeezys on niggas, dog.
Yeezy has 95. He got 95.
You spoke about your expertise earlier. I have to ask the panel something. Is anybody on the panel familiar with Kanye's current
Yeezy
contract
owns
with Gap
95%
and Adidas?
Of Yeezy. Yeezy owns 95%. The other 5% is owned by Kim, like he said. And then with the Gap and not the Gap and Adidas, with the Adidas piece, like you were talking about with the publishing or distribution, whatever case, that's what he used them for, was to be able to get to the factories.
Can he distribute Yeezy without Adidas?
I don't think.
So let me ask you. He owns the Yeezy brand, right? So unlike Jordan, right? Or maybe similar to Jordan. I don't know if Jordan's still under the Nike or whatever.
He bought himself out. I think Jordan bought himself out.
Jordan actually owns
the brand. Kanye West owns 95% of Yeezy and Kim Kardashian owns the other 5%. Yeezy is contracted out by Adidas to design shoes for Adidas. But once the contract is up between Yeezy and Adidas, he can go on and sell Yeezy wherever the hell he wants.
So right now, can Kanye West make a Yeezy shoe without Adidas?
Right now, no, but it's not because Adidas owns him.
It's because he's in contract with Adidas.
So
if the NFL has a contract,
exactly, NFL and Fox. If the NFL has a contract with Fox don't own the
NFL. He cannot. So it's a white company.
Oh my God, bro!
When and where he can make his things, he cannot distribute it or make that without his permission. They're actually making designs.
Bro, you just flip shit to figure out however you want to say it, bro.
We're not gonna do the filibuster right now.
Not a filibuster.
He cannot.
He's under contract.
It's embarrassing how you be sounding sometimes.
No, you got to take a chill pill and really listen to what you're saying, bro.
They are making designs of his shoes without his permission and putting it out and selling it. And it's
that's the
nothing
problem
he can do about it.
And that's the problem. And you're
okay.
Okay
They're making knockoff designs of his shoes. They're not
to deal with Adidas.
We got listen.
Hold on, no, because see, my brother's following me. He's not gonna try to filibuster me. What's the difference between?
He's about to prove you wrong, just like the rest of us are.
What's the difference between that contract he signed and any of Jay-Z's contracts? Please.
I love to hear you, Cohen. I love to hear you because I love to hear people that think differently than me because it shows me where I need to go and how I need to lead by example.
I need somebody to answer this question. What's the difference?
Bro. You so blind that you don't even recognize it. That's what's crazy. It hurts, bro.
What
hurts
me what the difference is
Cohen,
between
it hurts me that you're this intelligent.
No, you've been real silent on this one. Tell me what's the difference.
Well, you're talking all day.
You haven't shut up for us to answer you. It hurts. I want to start by saying it hurts me that I know you're an intelligent of a human being.
Straw man, answer the question.
Nah, because we all gonna get to the answer.
Answer the question.
All right, fuck
What's
it.
the difference between contracts? He's
so
talking
you know
about his
so you know how the NFL.
Bro, stop, Kurt. Let's let the guest answer the question.
You're right. Go ahead. You're right. Go ahead. Because he thinks he about to agree with him. I guess. Go ahead.
No, I just want it. If somebody educate me.
I mean, I've seen shoes in the. I've seen Target have Yeezys, fake Yeezys. So I mean, I believe anybody, to answer your question, anybody can make a replica, but for them to be Yeezy and for him to get money, it would have to be something that he approves off or signs. He still got to sign off on it. The company still got to sign. Like I said, that JP Morgan crap. That was a media publicity thing, man. Like that.
I love you, my brother, but I need somebody to answer this question.
Okay, no, I'm gonna answer the question. I haven't said anything in a while. Cohen, this is why you're wrong. You're saying does Adidas own Kanye West? No, he's in a contractual obligation with Adidas. The same way that the NFL shows NFC games on Fox specifically, because they're in a contract. Fox doesn't own the NFL, and the NFL doesn't own Fox, but they're in a contractual obligation to where Fox plays NFC games.
Just like Fanatics, the Fanatics that make the apparel, the Fanatics make the apparel for NFL shop.
Real quick.
They're contracted out to Fanatics.
Put them down. I asked Trip Simpson, what's the difference between Jay-Z being contractually obligated to the NFL to produce things for them, contractually obligated to, that's probably his only contractual obligation, and Kanye West being contractually obligated to Adidas, because y'all said, nah, Jay-Z is this, he's owned, but what's the difference in contractual obligation? I need Trip Simpson to answer this.
Okay, I answer the question.
I'll answer.
I'll answer it. No problem. So here's the flaw in your whole logic behind this conversation. Are you gonna let me answer the goddamn question, or are you just going to sit there and hoop and holler?
All right, go ahead.
Literally, no one agrees with you.
Literally. I want to tell them the difference.
What's the difference between the contractual?
No, hold on. I'm going to answer this.
No, I want to tell them the difference.
No. I want to do this.
Bruh, but you just have to you missed.
The caller stated Jay-Z is full of shit. None of us stated anything about Jay-Z. The caller stated this.
Strong man argument. You're still not answering the question I asked.
I'll answer your question.
I don't need
I will answer your question.
What's the difference?
Okay, stop talking. So the difference is Jay-Z does not own the NFL. Jay-Z does not own the NFL halftime show. Jay-Z does not own what music gets played on the halftime show. He don't even own Rock Nation for my man right here. I'm not saying that far. What I say is he don't own the NFL or the NFL halftime show. That's what you're asking about right now. He hires talent to go work for them niggas and go perform at that halftime show, but he does not own that. Yeezy owns Yeezy brand. Yeezy does not own the distribution of Yeezy brand because he's locked in a contract right now where Adidas distributes it. When he gets out of that distribution deal with Adidas, anybody else can go distribute it. Just like with the NFL, they're in a locked-in contract with their television brands like Fox and CBS, and so they're contractually obligated to show on those channels whenever they air. However, once those contracts are up, they can move on because they still own the NFL and can go contract with anybody else. Jay-Z can't take his NFL halftime show and go move that shit anywhere else to anybody else because he don't own that NFL halftime show. He's working for some other niggas that own it.
Can he put his artist that he signs and still makes money?
Of course he can, because he's the person who's orchestrating it. That's the difference. You asked for the difference. You ain't asked what he can and can't do. You asked for the exact difference.
I'm gonna tell you why they're the same thing. They're both intellectual.
They're not, because I just told you why they're different.
They're both IP. Jay-Z's IP that he has the.
So that means Jay-Z don't even own his IP.
The music chops, the people, the relationships, the production arm to produce the show. That's his intellectual property that they pay him for, because he's not the performer. They're paying his company for that intellectual property and their labor to produce the show. They were paying Kanye West his intellectual property. They paid him money to design on their platform to bring his brand to that platform and distribute his intellectual property for money. They currently own his intellectual property and he does not. That's why they can make shoes and put them out and he can't say shit. But he can't make shit and put it out. He'll get sued in court and he'll lose. So if you cannot put your own brands out, put your own anything out without consulting this company, you are owned. Even if for that period of time, you are owned for that period of time. Jay-Z can put out 1 million records right now. The NFL can't stop. NFL cannot stop any of Jay-Z's business. Period.
Okay,
NFL,
so you have no, so you're totally oblivious to what this conversation is even about, and it sounds like you're totally oblivious to contracts and contract negotiations.
Hey, Cohen, do you know who Rich Kleiman is?
And got this shit figured out. It is crazy.
Where did Rich Kleiman? Who is Rich Kleiman? Can you tell me? Can I ask you a question?
Let me address Kurt real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Kurt, let's make it plain enough for the audience, right? For the next 6 years, Kanye, unless somehow he gets out of this contract, Kanye West cannot put shit out without the blessing of these white corporations that he took money from. The NFL cannot affect Jay-Z's business in any type of way.
So let me take this for you then. Let me take this exact intimate of what you're saying. So you're saying you would rather...
Am I wrong?
Shut up and answer my question.
Wrong?
Answer my question now. So you would rather work for a nigga and then go outside of that job and be able to do your own little thing, you know, outside of them hours, but you on a fucking W-2, or would you rather then have your own company, which you own everything of, and then you just use that company to go in contracts and partnerships with other people to produce money together? Which one would you rather do? Because I know which one you rather do because you're doing.
No, I'd rather have Jay-Z's deal because another.
Go work a job then and get the fuck out of your own business. Go work a job then, dumbass. That's what you're doing. That's what you're saying right now.
I'm gonna break down this answer. So the NFL cannot stop Jay-Z from going to sign that deal with Cartier. Can't stop him from making that money. The NFL cannot stop him selling a percentage of his champagne brand to LVMH.
That doesn't have anything to do with music.
NFL, hold on.
Jay-Z sells music to the NFL.
Okay, the NFL cannot stop Jay-Z from.
Oh my God!
The NFL stopped Jay-Z.
What are we talking about here?
So
Adidas can't stop Kanye from making music.
My nigga, you're rambling on about nothing. This is apples and oranges.
So when I started laying out the evidence, you start yelling. The NFL cannot stop Jay-Z from signing any artist to Rock Nation. The NFL cannot stop Jay-Z from
nigga, my job can't stop me from selling niggas trips to Mexico. My job can't stop me from selling childcare to people. Does it have anything to do with it?
The NFL cannot stop Jay-Z from accessing any of his primary resources. Gap and Adidas can stop Kanye West from accessing his primary mode of resource. He didn't become a billionaire from the music industry.
Did Adidas stop Kanye West from getting a deal with the Gap?
No.
Yes,
they
actually didn't. He's in both deals at the same time right now.
So they sanctioned the deal.
No, they didn't. It's still going on.
So did you know that Gap and Adidas put out a joint statement about their contracts with Kanye West?
Kanye West and Balenciaga entered into a deal with the Gap.
Let's rewind it back.
Adidas ain't stopped Balenciaga.
Did you know Gap and Adidas put out a joint statement about Kanye West's contracts?
Gap and Adidas ain't stopping from making an album last year.
Did you know, Trip Simpson? Did you know Gap and Adidas put out a joint statement about Kanye West's contracts?
Gap and Adidas ain't stopping from making a stem plate.
But music did not make Kanye West a billionaire. He actually doesn't make as much money as you think from music because of the way he structures his albums. He doesn't write the music. Other people write. He has 20 collaborators.
He's changing the way music is being.
Cohen.
I'm about to shut this shit right now.
Cohen, you need to get out of that conversation. Back out of that conversation because you don't know what you're talking about.
At all.
And everybody's saying in the comments here, you just look crazy.
He's a producer and an artist. Do you know that he's gotten more money off of just being a signed artist than producing? And he's producing since 1999, dog.
Hold on. Slow down. Let's slow down. Let's slow walk this. The Kanye Gap breakup will be tough on Adidas.
You got to get back yourself out of that music stuff.
Let me rebut.
Back yourself out of that music stuff because you've already showed.
This is an article from the Washington Post about the Gap and Adidas deal that he just said Adidas was trying to stop with Gap.
Yeah, back out of the music stuff with the collaborators because you don't know what
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
All y'all arguing three different things. I'm gonna address Trip Simpson. That's not what I said. I said look up the joint statement they put out.
Who gives a fuck? What does that have to do with what I said?
You didn't. That didn't have anything to do with what I said. Number two, what did
You're full of it, man. You're full of it.
What did Kanye?
You're full of it, bro.
Bro, we're not talking about his last house. Did you know that? Listen, Cohen. Let me tell you how you're wrong. Let me ether you off of one fact. 70% of music that's being streamed in 2022 is old music. 30% only accounts for new music. We're not even talking about. We're talking about when albums was on the shelf, my nigga. When you can still go into Target and buy albums. He's been selling records that long.
So
we're not talking about no Donda. We ain't talking about no Donda shit.
Let's compare two artists together, right? For the sake, because you came out there to work with Kendrick, and let's compare him and Kanye West, right? Because Kendrick wrote all of his music, right? Do you think he will have a larger publishing share eventually?
No, because Kanye produces everything and is the artist on the records. Kendrick ain't produced shit, nigga. Kendrick don't produce nothing.
How many of Kanye albums where the production credits are split amongst a lot of producers?
This is what you gotta understand is Kanye owns good music. Kendrick don't own TDE. What are you talking?
I'm talking about value of catalog.
The value of catalog. Kanye's catalog is still more valuable because he's written and produced the records.
But I'm talking
Kendrick
about
is not getting.
How many of Kanye's records have multiple writers and multiple producers?
What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean.
No, that means the money is split.
No, it doesn't. No, you know how many people that are on the records that are not getting anything but credit? That's it. That's why I said back yourself out of that conversation, dog.
So one thing I am is a Kanye fan, right? Consequence went on Drink Champs and said it itself, right?
That's the first album. That's the first album. Go ahead.
That worked. No, there's worked with him on all of his albums.
And he's not gotten publishing.
Still with Kanye West.
And he hasn't gotten publishing.
I'm gonna speak from the words of somebody who has intimate knowledge of Kanye West's business.
You stay speaking on somebody else's words. You got somebody speaking on first-hand knowledge right here.
I'm telling you, I'm looking. I got split sheets in front of me, bro. I got split sheets that I can put on the jump.
He said it himself.
I got Cohen. I got split sheets. Listen, Cohen. I got split sheets in front of me that I can show you that how many people are getting 1%, and Kanye is getting 50% off the records that they helped write.
So if you keep multiplying that over time, if you have 4 writers, 4 producers, 4 writers, 4 producers, 4 writers, 4 producers, especially on the main hits, and then you got to talk about how much it costs to clear samples. So you got to factor all that in when you talk about how much the catalog is actually worth. So when you break down, if you got somebody like Kendrick who has these level of hits as well, but it's not.
He don't have the same level of hits. Sorry. Go back and look at go to RIA. Go to RIA.
No.
He don't have the same amount of plaque.
I'm just saying in terms of if you talk about the pen, right? Writing credits, whose shit might end up being more valuable. Kendrick is still ascending as well, right? So,
bro, listen, Cohen. Let me give you one fact. Let me give you one quick fact. Let me give you one quick fact.
Music did not get Kanye West on the floor.
Listen. Let me give you one quick fact.
Music has not even his making music has never not even put him in the top 20 in hip hop of money makers, right?
It puts him in the room for access. It gives him access.
Well, the reason why he is the richest black man in his country is not because of music. It's because of his shoes.
It's because of his access. It's because of his cultural influence and access.
Everybody hold up. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody's going to get a chance.
And he can't make
my man, hey, caller, I want you to stay here. Hold on, relax. I want you to stay here, bro. This is what we're going to do.
That sounds like owned.
For all of the audience, do not leave the stream. Everybody is going to get to give their final thoughts. And by final thoughts, I mean each person on the panel will get to say their piece. And then we'll end the show off that. We're going to start with the caller. But before we go there, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to regroup. And when we come back, everybody's going to get their final thoughts. All right?
Break. never even.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh goes. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
This is your brain. And this is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends and your money. And your drugs and your self-respect and your future. Any questions?
All right, we're back. We're back. We're back.
Hey, I went to use the bathroom and came back, and it was still really commercials. I'm crying laughing.
You ain't know we have real commercials now?
No, dog.
No money off of them, but they funny.
So look, this is what we're gonna do. We brought Jamar back in. We're gonna give everybody a chance to get their final spiel.
What's up, me?
And then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna start with our what's your name again, bro? I'm sorry. Chaz.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna start with you, bro. We just want to get your final thoughts, what you thought about the whole program. Anything that we discussed, you can talk about it. You'll have your chance to talk, hopefully uninterrupted.
Oh no, I think the conversation is good to have. I think it's healthy because Cohen represents the side that pretty much wants Kanye to show, improve, and be of a person that lead by example. I mean, be the person that he's saying that everybody else, he wants everybody else to be. And I get his side, but I've also realized that you have to know how to in order to beat the enemy, you gotta get in that, you gotta sit in, like he said, the spook by the door, and kind of get gems. The reason why, like I talked to Tommy Davidson, like all these people that made it out of here, Rich Harrison, who produced Crazy in Love for Beyonce, that's my cousin, bro. Like his mother is married to my uncle. So that's how my ear was able to, basically like, okay, these guys that's doing this music for Wale, they're bigger than DC. They're bigger than the city. And everybody always told us that. It was like, we bigger than the city. But Kanye is trying to really tell you, Cohen, and he can't articulate it. Like he said, he just can't articulate it the best way. Everything, all this shit out here is rigged, bro. Like everything from getting from Kanye, the Cruel Summer shit, to doing the, bullshit music with whatever artists they would throw at us to try to basically make us, kind of, it's friends. The reason why music is so bad is because there are no A&Rs anymore. There are no black people in our culture. There's white gatekeepers, and everybody at these labels now are Jewish. They got rid of us. They figured out how to get rid of us out of these labels. Soon as streaming came, there's no hold on. There's no black people no more in these labels. So what's going on is it's like everybody's pulling their money together. Publishing deals and record deals are far in between. They're far few in between. Only people they want to sign is people like Glorilla, people that's talking about degrading the culture, that type of stuff. As you can see, Kanye has never signed anybody that was on that type of stuff. that was on that type of, on that type of mission. Even that one guy that had the one single that went away, he was not talking. He was talking about scamming, scamming the community. He wasn't talking about tricking. He wasn't talking about killing each other. He wasn't talking about, so he's did his best with showing and proving about, what he was about and what type of music he wanted to put out through good music. And I think a lot of it, I think a lot of the problem is, but I just wanted, like, the reason why people like me don't even come out on shows like this is because it's a lot of people that don't believe me and won't listen, bro. Like, just listen, bro. Like, I'm gonna be the one of the only people. I'm the type of nigga, like, at my level, I'm about to go to the Grammys, nigga, for album of the year this year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna already win the rap album because Kendrick's gonna win that. But when the reason why when I talk to Tommy Davidson, he tells me, like, and I talk to people that made it, like Taraji and all these people, Regina, they tell me like they was like, people DC don't listen. People back home don't listen. Like, we try to get in the Jews, but no one wants to listen to the people that already done it. So that's why when I asked you, I said, hey, what's your credibility? What have you done to basically say, hey, I got paperwork, I got receipts to show that I know what I'm talking about? Because when you're talking about music, you got to back out of that conversation when you're talking to me, because you're not doing it right now. And not just that I'm doing it out here. I got a once a month showcase in DC for new artists. Once a month at 1865 on Georgia Avenue. Once a month. That I'm putting out of my pocket. I'm putting $5,000 out of my pocket to put a band in there and to give people an opportunity. So why you can't say, you can't come after Kanye if you're not trying to do it yourself too. Like, I try to tell people all the time, like, y'all want to come after people, but what are you doing in your own community by yourself to help everybody out? To you know what I'm saying, to lead by example. Because it's easy to point the finger and say, this person is wrong, but how are you going to right that wrong on your end? Like my man told me the other day, he said, man, we got in an argument. He said, Chaz, you can't save everybody. It ain't about saving everybody. It's about doing my part. And that's it. I just got on the show so I could do my part, because I don't really talk on a lot of shows, because I never felt like I had the credibility to do this until after we got to Kendrick. Kendrick is probably the biggest person in the game other than Drake. So now I can talk my shit on all these shows. But I fuck with Trip. I've been a longtime friend of Dan. I went to Virginia State. I went to Archbishop Carroll. I knew Trip's wife before Trip knew her. We was hanging out, going to go-go's and parties before Trip knew her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the community.
I don't want to have a conversation now.
Well, no, I'm in the community. No. April was always that whole crew was always the homies. Like, we were always, you know what I'm saying? Like that Catholic school crew, we all got up with everybody and everybody knew everybody.
Oh yeah, facts.
So we all partied. You know what I'm saying? We all went to the same parties. We all, we was all in the same community. It wasn't like nothing like that, man. But we always in the same parties. We all, I'm a fabric of my community. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a fabric of my community and I've been successful and I can make it so I can now talk about it. But before you talk about music and contracts with me, bro, we got to pull out some receipts. You got to pull out some receipts to show me that you didn't make some money off of that and paid your bills off of this. Because until you pay, listen.
I got a few bills that I paid.
Okay, because until you paid your bills and you've been homeless, going from place to place, I can put up pictures right now in the chat and show you where we were, how we were sleeping in the car every day, and how I was getting out of the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit was real, bro. Like, I really did this shit because we really wanted it. A lot of people say they want it, but they not really to sacrifice everything. God ain't gonna give you. God ain't gonna give you. If you trying to keep up with the Joneses, God ain't gonna give you that. If you giving him 50%, he ain't gonna give you what you want, bro. You gotta give 100%.
Facts.
That's it.
That's what's up, yo. Jamar, you next.
Final thoughts for your ass. You better bomb clap all that shit. That's final thoughts I might have heard on this show.
Really? No.
Man, I ain't really got a lot of.
I'm the only one that said.
Hey, listen. No, hey, bro. I'm gonna send you a DM or something after the show. All right, for sure.
We definitely gotta connect with you, brother.
Chaz, I'm gonna send you a DM after the show.
Oh, thanks, bro. I want, anytime you got music, Trip, like, if you're doing anything about the music business or anybody in music, hit me up first, because they might be sitting on my couch, bro. We be laughing at these. I was showing Jabari from Fresh Prince these comments, and he was sitting there laughing. I was texting him like, dog. He was like, bro, like, niggas don't even know what's going on, dog.
Facts. Jamar, what you got?
I mean, I think my point is, I'm still standing on that. Like, I agree with some of the stuff he preaching, and I definitely want the best for him, but I just feel like he gotta stop making himself an easy target. Like, if you're so smart, we got all these ideas and stuff. All right, well, we gotta start kind of using that to an intellectual standpoint. Stop making yourself an easy target. I understand the publicity route and all of that, but if you're gonna be a leader, I need to see some proper leadership. This shit, giving yourself an easy target, wilding out, downing other people to big yourself up, the whole selfishness in the thing, that ain't what I could stand for. But other than that, this shit cool with me. Like I said, I don't know everything. I ain't gonna always make the right decisions, but I'm definitely not gonna be an easy target and make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. So that's what I got on that.
Facts. Kirk, what you got?
I'm gonna go the political route right quick and thank all of our listeners and viewers because we had so many of them today. We didn't talk to y'all for 3 hours and 40 minutes. I know it's gonna go probably to 4 hours because these two niggas be having 10-minute final thoughts. So, shout out for starters. Shout out to Jamar and Chaz today for coming in. Y'all gave great input. That joint is beautiful. As far as the final thoughts go, y'all know I'm a big Kanye fan, so I typically lean that way with my opinion. But it's not just because I'm a fan, because there's a lot of y'all that I think are fans as well, from which I say, and y'all be against that man. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of antics. He does a lot of wild stuff, but you got to look through all the BS because from what I've always learned and understood, you're not here for the messenger. You're here for the message. The messenger is just another human, just like all of us. We all make mistakes. If everybody here was judging all of us on that same platform that Kanye at, we all look crazy. So I consider myself a leader in this area. I'm doing stuff to actually, be able to say that and stand on it. And everything that I say and feel and will want to happen from a leader is what I see Kanye doing and saying based on like what I expect somebody to represent me at this level, knowing all these devils and people that we going against. So I'm not at those levels, but I do know I hope to be at those levels at some point in my life. And if I think I'm gonna get there, then I want somebody before me to come and tell me, hey, that stuff that they telling you that you think is out there is really out there. And that's what he does. Every new level that he gets to, he tells us, hey, I just experienced this. Remember we was talking about it? Remember we thought this might be a case? Well, it's really the case. And he just gives you perfect examples of the actual people who are out here perpetrating that shit. And we act like he's crazy for doing it. Nah, he calling these people out and holding them accountable. He do it to black people. He do it to white people. He gets it done to himself, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I think he's not holding himself accountable, but I hear times where he takes back some of the things that he said and changed them. And it's not takes back like, I'm not going to stand on this like 400 years as a choice. He still to this day stands on 400 years as a choice. He's actually showing y'all how he's living this shit out. Like we make choices every day. This is what 400 years was what 2019. So he's talking about right now. Everybody says slavery was a choice, was his comment. He actually said the first law of human nature is survival, which is true, which means if you're trying to survive, what you're going to do is go with the option of death or this other thing right here. The only thing you could do to not be a slave was to die. So it is a choice at the end of the day. And if somebody would have chosen not to, we wouldn't be here no more. So we all survived and we're here to live this shit out. Stop choosing to go along with the enemy because that's what signing all these Jewish niggas is at the end of the day. And he gave you a great example of it throughout that whole 3-hour interview. I think some of it was fluke, some of it was BS, some of it wasn't necessary. But like I said, we ain't going with the messenger, we going with the message. And that message is something I never thought I would hear somebody say in my time of living on this earth. So he's saying that shit, and I ain't about to knock him. Simple as that.
Facts. Cosby Digital, what you got?
Yo, first of all, let me thank everybody who came on the show today. Chaz, we appreciate you, my brother. Jamal, always good to see you, man. We gotta have you back on more often, bro. I like when you come on, bro. You bring the energy to it, bro. I appreciate you. Everybody who commented, liked, shared, we appreciate y'all, man. We do this for the people, to give the people the information, give people perspective, give them something to think about. You know what I'm saying? So that's the purpose of these conversations. My final thoughts. When I was listening to everybody speak, people made great points, but a certain this phrase kept coming to my head, like it's false prophets, right? J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers, other than Kanye. Kanye musically was one of my very favorite rappers. But it keeps coming back to that song for me, False Prophets. Around the same time that Farrakhan was trying to give Kanye that advice, J. Cole gave us all the advice that we should have followed. And those, I don't know how many bars, 16, 20 bars about false prophets, right? Understanding somebody's rhetoric versus understanding what they actually do in real life. And when we hold someone to such a high pedestal and we are sold something that we feel like they can do no wrong, in our eyes, guess what? They can do no wrong in our eyes. It doesn't matter who they disrespect, whether it's their own community, people in their own family, they baby mothers, they whoever. It doesn't matter because they've become a prophet. And some may say a false prophet. Because there's examples of people who have the same type of leadership, the same type of respect, the same type of energy for the community. They don't come along with all the bullshit. I mentioned J. Cole earlier. That's somebody who really saw what the music industry was, decided he wanted to make music for his fans, and acted accordingly. You don't see J. Cole making anti-black statements. You don't see J. Cole wifing sluts, being a simp, begging online. He has dignity and respect. He come drop his music, do his thing, and go back to his life. I consider that a person who practices what they preach. My brother worked with Kendrick. That's another person I saw that saw what the music industry was and decided this is something that I don't mess with. I'm going to drop my music. I'm going to support my fans. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm out of here. And when I come back and drop, I'm going to drop, then I'm out of here. So there are examples within business of people actually practicing what they preach. There was a slight debate about the business practice of Jay-Z and the business practice of Kanye West. One business owner is able to maximize every revenue stream that he currently has while having partnerships with all of the corporations he has partnerships with. One entrepreneur is not able to leverage his brand that made him a billionaire. He's not able to put out any clothes, any shoes, any art around clothing, shoes, apparel, any of the things that makes him who he is right now. You decide which one you want to be right now. They both billionaires. One got control over it, his empire, and one does not. When it comes to the anti-blackness, it's a way to get your point across without disrespecting or putting down your community. We all know why the term White Lives Matter was created. If you don't know, just Google who created the term White Lives Matter, who popularized White Lives Matter. The one thing I do is listen to all sides. I listen to Fox News a lot. I listen to Tucker Carlson. I listen to alternative news sources all the time because I want to know what the people on the other side are doing. And I notice when people start repeating talking points because I know what the talking points are. So when someone gets confused with free thinking when they're really talking points, it bothers me. So for all those people who think Kanye West is a free thinker, I advise you just to put his slogans into Google and see who said it before Kanye West. And you'll be surprised. If you Google who created White Lives Matter before Kanye West put it on the t-shirt, you might be surprised. And so I feel like that's pretty much my final thoughts. And this is my advice to people, to the youth, whoever's listening. If you're really about building your own platforms, like Straight Talk No Chase is building their own platforms, you're really about making change, like Kurt's trying to make change in the community, like my man Chad's trying to make change in the community, teaching people music business. If you like me, you want to make change in the community, like you've invested in your community over a decade, there's examples of doing it the right way and examples of doing it the wrong way. That's my final thoughts.
Straight Talk No Chase platform is on YouTube. Hey,
Hold on. Yeah, you're on YouTube with us. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying you should create their own platform. I'm saying it's not. It's on a platform.
Who owns Straight Talk No Chase?
I feel you. I'm just saying. I wanted to say something real quick. My man said about J. Cole, he said he fake woke. I thought that was hilarious, dog. So I want to hear this. I want to hear this background story.
Bro, he didn't stole.
Everything is an argument with you, bro. Everything's an argument. I don't care what you said. I'm laughing at him saying J. Cole is fake woke. Go ahead. What you about to say?
Look, you was triggered because you was typing like a motherfucker in the comments.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, y'all think it's wild. Listen, so I'm
you niggas need to go to the shed.
Hey,
these niggas need to go to the shed.
I'm just saying, the nigga always say, I literally.
my final thoughts to start this shit. Matter of fact, when I finish, I'll let y'all go ahead.
Hey, Jamal, you see me like, what the fuck?
Bro, the thing is, he thinks everything is a comeback for him. And I literally typed in the chat, this nigga said J. Cole is fake woke. And I said, which was clear because he went on No Name. And I wanted to hear what this man had to say about J. Cole being fake woke. I could give a fuck about Cole's final thoughts.
Man, let him simply do his final thoughts, dog.
Go ahead, Trip.
All right, y'all. Look. So real quick. Off the break, the first point I'd like to make is that I think Kanye West has been masterful this past week in trolling the hell out of everybody and then being able to get center attention and say what needs to be said, plain and simple. The bottom line is the black community, whether you're talking about the community that Kanye was talking about, whether you're talking about the LGBT community, whether you're talking about the Hispanic community, or whether you're talking about the Asian community. All of these communities know something that we don't know. America is about money. It's about doing your thing as your group, and with that group, making shit better for your community, and honestly, not giving a fuck about everyone else. Asians sell black people shit. Hell, an article just came out today about how women who are getting perms, they are 55% more likely to get vaginal cancer because of the perms they get, because of the heat they putting in their hair. But Asians sell you that shit all day. The LGBT community, all they do is go off. They just feed off the blood of us and the struggles we went through, and then they go out and act like they've been oppressed. And they get laws changed for them based on that. The community that Kanye spoke so often about, they exploit us culturally all day, every day. Anything that has to do with black culture is being exploited by someone from that community. And guess what? I'm not even here to condemn them for that. See, niggas are too stupid. We don't realize we're the sucker in the room. So everybody's here to eat off us. And we're too kind-hearted to return the favor to the rest of these motherfuckers. We're too kind-hearted. Illegal immigrants come over here, we welcome them in. Then when they get acclimated, they flip the script and they start practicing racism against us. I.e., look at this shit that just happened in LA the other day. The president of the LA City Council talking shit about black folks. Knowing good and well, you wouldn't even be over here if black folks didn't die in the street. So as far as these other groups go, hey, they're playing the Game of Thrones. Niggas are the only ones sitting up here delusional, talking about some goddamn black excellence and all this other fuck shit when you're losing. You're fucking losing. And the second part of my point, George fucking Floyd. Now, I'm not here to disrespect the dead man because he didn't deserve to die in the way that he died. At all. The police officer was definitely negligent by keeping him in that position and didn't monitor his deterioration. But at the same time, niggas, give me a fucking break. Y'all niggas exalted this nigga like he was Jesus Christ because he was high out his fucking mind doing stupid shit. You can't get high out of your fucking mind and then try to resist arrest, especially down in Minnesota. Most of the time, niggas get into shit because of their fucking behavior. It ain't because the whole world is out to get you. Ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. Do niggas behave? When you see niggas doing shit out in public, are they behaving? No. And then they make it everybody else's fucking problem because they in the position they in. We know that police treat black people worse. We know this. We know this. But yet, niggas still want to keep testing the fucking water. Unfortunately, what I'm saying doesn't sound good. But unfortunately, medicine don't taste good. But guess what? These other communities, they'll keep feeding you the sugar. While you getting fat and while you getting diseased, they'll keep feeding you the sugar. Black Lives Matter. You guys are being treated poorly. Here, take this, take that. I'm here to say fuck that. You know what the game is at this point. Get your mind ready. Nobody gives a fuck about you. None of these people give a fuck about you. So operate like that in the real fucking world. That's all I got to say. That's been this episode of Straight Talk No Chase. For myself and the rest of the panel, we thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, and if you're on Facebook right now, do me a favor, hop on over to Trippin' Space Ain't Easy YouTube page, hit the fucking subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications, so every time we go live or every time we post a video, you will be notified. That's it for today. Holla at y'all niggas later.